Every family has that relative. You know the one. The guy who never quite figured out how to pay bills on time, shows up to Thanksgiving with a six-pack and a questionable story, and somehow still has the best life advice you'll ever get. For the Russell family, that's Uncle Buck. He's unemployed, he's loud, he smokes cigars like it's a competitive sport, and when mom and dad have to leave town, he's suddenly in charge of 3 kids who range from adorably trusting to actively plotting his downfall. This is a story about bad first impressions, giant pancakes, teenage angst, bowling alleys, and how one guy with a power drill can change your entire outlook on dating. This is Uncle Buck, and we'll get into it on this episode of the Regular Guy Movie Show.
Lights go down, let's hit play. Regular guys got something to say. The Regular Guy Movie Show, talking flicks. Here we go!
Welcome back to the Regular Guy Movie Show, where 3 dudes revisit the beloved films of their childhood to find out if they still hold up or if they were just a mail slot interrogation gone a bit too far. I'm Seth, and joining me as always on this libation-lubricated cinematic journey are 2 of my favoriteest peoples in the whole wide world, my co-hosts, Justin and Brian. Gentlemen, are you ready to sharpen your hatchets and carve up some Uncle Buck?
It's so funny that you said that because I got my hatchet in the trunk.
Nice. I'm just ready to flip it and cover it with syrup.
All right. Well, before we get into the nuts and bolts of this movie, let's take a moment to talk about what we're drinking this evening. And as we've talked about in previous episodes, as much as possible, we try to match our beer choices to the movie we're watching. And so tonight we've got 3 beers that we'll be enjoying.
I've got to say, spectacular effort tonight.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And we've started off our evening with an old friend of mine, Maduro Brown Ale from Cigar City Brewing, which it's Tampa, brewed in Tampa, the Cigar City. But the cigar is what stood out to me. Uncle Buck recently switched to cigars, so it seemed like a good fit.
Oh, he's on the 5-year plan to quit smoking.
5-year plan.
Yeah, and in this stage is, foregoing the cigarette for the cigar.
Do you find it funny that every person who's a smoker has a 5-year plan?
Well, as I've heard in the past, it's not an event. It's a process.
Those are very, very wise words.
It's true.
We've been enjoying that. This is a beer I've drank many times in the past. It's brewed in Tampa, Florida. In past life, I had to go to Tampa many times a year. And this is a beer I discovered then. This is actually the first time, though, I'm drinking it out of a can. It's a little bit different. I actually remember it being much more pleasurable on tap.
It's always a little different from a can.
But gotta say, not a bad beer.
No,
not bad.
No, it's got great notes. It's nice and smooth. It sits on the palate well. I'm enjoying it, and I will have another.
And I actually find it better as it warms.
Yeah.
As a lot of browns.
As
a lot of browns do, yeah.
We will also be enjoying another beer that Brian brought to the table. Also another dear friend of mine, Moose Drool from Big Sky Brewing.
Moose Buck. Natural.
And he's a bit of a drooler.
Only when the hot girls walk by.
Well, it's sleep at night. That's why he tells Maisie that.
That's true.
That's why I thought you picked it.
Oh, wow. No, not because of the drool, but because of the moose. A male moose called a buck.
Oh.
Yeah, the antlers, the buck.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
Yeah, but that's,
Double reasons.
I like the drool.
But way to dig deep.
Yeah.
Way to dig deep.
And I will say the third beer we're enjoying this, I'm a little bit trepidatious about. It's new to me. From Surly Brewing, Axeman IPA.
Axeman, because Uncle Buck wielded the hatchet.
The hatchet.
Yeah, so
carry the hatchet.
I'm excited to try it, and I think partway through our show, we'll take a small recess and explain how it tastes when we get to it.
Yeah, and the reason I'm a bit trepidatious is one of the primary characteristics that describes it is a word I've had mixed luck with past IPAs, dank.
It can go so many ways. Like,
I thought that was just a weed word.
it is definitely a weed word.
Right.
I've tried several IPAs over the years that really brag about their dankness.
Mm-hmm.
And my success rate is maybe 10%.
Well, challenge accepted.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, we are.
But yeah, X-Man, it was just too good of a fit. Had to go with it. But we'll let you know how that turns out later.
Yeah, can't go wrong with an Axeman.
I mean, it's beer.
I mean, we could go wrong.
We went wrong with the mom water.
We sure did.
Or maybe I
went wrong
yes,
with the
yes,
mom
you're
water.
correct. I went wrong. Way wrong.
Allow me to throw you under the bus.
I'll just back it up a little bit.
Run over you 3 times.
Deserved.
Some things can never be forgiven, Brian. Today, as we mentioned, we are diving into Uncle Buck. John Hughes' Actually, is it John Hughes or John Hughes's? John Hughes's.
John Hughes?
John Hughes's. What would be the possessive of John Hughes?
I think it's John Hughes's is.
Hughesicle, the musical.
All right. Well, today we are diving into Uncle Buck, John Hughes' 1989 comedy about an unconventional babysitter with a heart of gold, a wallet full of horse racing slips, and a breakfast menu that could crush a small child. John Candy is in top form, Macaulay Culkin is rehearsing, essentially, for Home Alone, and somewhere out there, a guy named Bug is still hiding from power tools and Five Woods. But before we dive into it head first, gentlemen, tell me about your first experiences watching the movie Uncle Buck. Brian, you want to kick it off?
Sure. I don't have a whole lot of info here. I believe I've always just seen Uncle Buck.
Isn't it weird like that?
Yeah, it's
like
one of those.
It's always been there.
It's one of those movies that I don't remember seeing for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember it being on a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things when you're flipping through and it's on, you land on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've probably watched this movie a good 6, 7, 8 times in 20 different pieces.
So here's the funny part about that too, is whenever I was looking up to see where it was streaming, it actually had 4 upcoming dates
On AMC.
and then also there was another one. So there was 2 on AMC coming up, and then there was another IFC. Like there was something else, but I'm like, they're still playing this on TV.
Yeah, it still shows up.
It's a classic.
It is.
And this is the first movie that we've watched that I've seen that on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's still in rotation.
It is. Still relevant.
Yeah, but I'm with you guys. I couldn't put an exact date and time on it, but I'm sure this was a family VHS rental initially. And I know I watched it at least half dozen times when I was a kid. Caught it here and there, bits and pieces on TV, same as you guys. But this is probably the first time I've sat down and watched it from beginning to end in at least 15 years.
I'm with you.
For sure.
Yep.
So for me, I'm kind of in that same boat. Like, where did I watch it? When did I watch it? I think I was around 13 to 14 years old when I first saw Uncle Buck, and I'm pretty sure it was just on cable at that point. Instantly loved it because Uncle Buck reminded me of my for real Uncle Jerry.
Oh, Uncle Jer.
Little tie here.
Big Jer.
Big Jer.
Well, for anyone who's not watched Uncle Buck, why don't we give them just a little bit of a snippet what this movie is all about?
Okay, Uncle Buck came out in 1989. When suburban parents, Bob and Cindy Russell, need to rush out of town for a family emergency, they only have one option for childcare: Bob's unconventional brother, Uncle Buck. Buck Russell is a big-hearted but rough-around-the-edges bachelor whose life revolves around bowling alleys, horse races, and a general avoidance of responsibility. Suddenly in charge of his nieces and nephew, rebellious teenager Tia, mischievous Miles, and sweet Maisie, Buck finds himself in uncharted territory. So, from serving up comically oversized pancakes to interrogating potential boyfriends, Buck's unpolished parenting style collides with suburban norms, creating chaos, laughter, and unexpected breakthroughs. Over the course of a few wild days, Buck earns the kids' trust, mends strained family bonds, and discovers that under his scruffy exterior, there lies a natural protector.
Oh,
I mean, that really
I mean, it hits the nail on the head.
It does.
hits me right in the feels.
All right. Well, now we know the movie. We're done.
Yep.
well,
Well, how did Uncle Buck do in the box office?
Okay, so the budget for this movie was $15 million. The domestic gross was $66.7 million. Didn't do great worldwide because it was very American-centric. The worldwide gross was $79 million. So while not on the blockbuster scale of other movies of that year, like Batman or Indiana Jones, Uncle Buck was considered a solid hit for a mid-budget comedy.
And you know what I found was really interesting is whenever I went to purchase the rental on this one,
Mhm.
I went to Amazon. The rating on this is 5 stars across the board
Yeah,
with 13,500 ratings.
that's impressive.
That's super impressive.
You know, and I want to think that the people who were seeking out that movie to watch it already knew and already loved it.
Probably.
So that's probably how it got that 5-star, but that's still nonetheless very impressive.
But 13,500 people can't be wrong.
13,501. No.
Ooh.
Mark me down for number 2.
Ooh.
Well, this movie was written and directed by John Hughes. And this is a character we've talked about a number of episodes back on the Mr. Mom discussion, because that's a story that was originally conceptualized by John Hughes, though he wasn't the final writer and he definitely was not the director. This case, though, he is running the ship full bore.
So where are we at this point in the John Hughes, like,
Maturation process.
So really, yeah, John Hughes' career kind of had basically 2 stages. You know, you had the kid stage, the teenagers. That's where you had your Ferris Bueller. That's where you had your Pretty in Pink and The Breakfast Club. And then you had more of the adult movies or the family movies. That's where you had your Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You have this National Lampoon's Vacation. He wrote Beethoven, Home Alone. You know, so this is not the first movie in the family centric. Planes, Trains came right before it in 1987, but it's kind of about 1/3 of the way through that arc of his art writing and directing.
Yeah, I kind of think this was part of that bridge, going from the teen comedy movie, which this definitely had elements of.
Oh yeah,
to the family comedy, which obviously this had elements of. So I kind of feel like this was part of that maturation process and part of that bridge going from one to the other.
And you could see, especially on the directing side, where he borrowed bits and pieces. Like, honestly, Tia, she had a lot of the exact same shots and styling as Jeannie Bueller.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And almost like there was a time where I thought, I'm like, are they the same person?
Yeah.
And I had to look up who the actress was that played Tia. Because I was like, oh, that's not the same person. Because they were like almost shot for shot the same. Like, I'm like, what is going on here? Like,
Yeah, he really captured that.
the teen angst kind of thing.
Right, right.
Well,
for
it's
sure.
not just teen angst, because I think what was really typified his style in the teen movies, it wasn't just angst, it was precocious teen angst. It was very verbose teen angst.
And I don't want to dissect it further, but I will. It was young woman teen angst and would you say verboseness?
Verbosity.
Verbosity? Boy, that's a great word. I'm gonna use that at work.
Yeah.
Verbosity.
But I'll tell you, like, I don't know, maybe we should get more into that into when we announce the character, but she really did. Like, it was almost like the anger that she felt from moving cities, but also the responsibility of having to take care of her younger siblings. Just really, like, she had that, like, I'm taking care of them. I don't need you here.
And I hate it.
And I hate everything about this entire situation, my parents included. She was very angry.
Yeah. And a lot of that was written in. And going back to hit Hughes as the writer, yeah, I mean, he really kind of checked into his signature formula for writing. Chaotic, but at the same time, heartfelt. A little bit of slapstick, along with moments of real emotional connection.
Yeah.
And you see that both in his teenager movies and the family movies that followed. You know, there's just a mishmash of all of that and each have their standalone moments, but you see them bleed together as well.
I read that he pulled a lot of his own family experiences growing up into a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
And into a lot of the writing. I also read, doing some quality research, that he was, during filming of Uncle Buck, he was outlining and creating and organizing his thoughts on Home Alone.
Yeah. And I think there's something to build upon on that too, because what's interesting about his writing is that he would often write characters for the movies with certain actors in mind. And so Hughes had worked with John Candy on Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Mm-hmm.
And when he started to write this movie, which he wrote in 1 week,
Wow.
he wrote Buck entirely with John Candy in mind.
Sure.
Now, to follow that up, when he wrote Home Alone, he had
had
just worked with a really cool, precocious little kid
named
Macaulay Culkin.
right.
And so he wrote Kevin McAllister entirely with Macaulay Culkin in mind.
That's right. Apparently, Uncle Buck was just one giant audition
Right.
for the next movie.
So, yeah, and other movies that he wrote, National Lampoon's Vacation, 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, as well as we just said, Home Alone. And on the directing side, this was his 7th feature film as a director. And, almost all the movies, take place in that same Chicago suburb.
Yeah.
And they don't name it in Uncle Buck.
But it's obvious.
We know it's near Chicago, so I'm just going to assume it's Shermer, Illinois.
right.
Did you guys ever watch Dogma?
Yes.
The movie Dogma?
Mm-hmm.
Where Jay and Silent Bob decide to go to Shermer, Illinois
Mm-hmm.
because there's all these rich white kids that need a drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't find, turns out Shermer, Illinois doesn't exist.
No, wasn't it? It was Jay who was like, "There's this town, Shermer, Illinois, where all these things we need to go there because I've heard about this in the movies." And like,
Yeah. But we digress. Let's get into our cast of characters. Who made this movie what it is on screen?
Oh, here we go. Number 1 on my list is Buck Russell, played by the legendary John Candy.
I won't have any problem cashing a second party out-of-state paycheck, will I?
No, you won't. So Buck is the lovable, loud, slightly irresponsible uncle with a big heart and questionable life skills.
I love how Buck starts this movie off as the last resort. But by the end, he is the glue holding everything together.
Mm-hmm.
He really is. Like he turned out to be way more responsible than he was ever given credit to be. And that kind of started at the beginning too.
It did. It's almost as though his family didn't like who they thought he was, but never got the time to really know who he was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he was so good
Mm-hmm.
at the father figure of a guy who's never had kids. And it was pretty impressive.
There were some details.
There were. I think the underlying current is he was at a time in his life where he wanted to love something. And family's great. And so this is really extrapolating here, but I feel like he was wanting that acceptance from his family, finally.
But
that he'd kind of shirked for his life.
He also wasn't taking shit from nobody. Especially not a teenage girl.
But getting back to the actor, John Candy.
Oh,
Love John Candy.
What a lovable human being.
absolutely.
And, we talked a little bit before the show that he plays a lot of the same character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when you cast John Candy for your movie, you're casting John Candy, not the character actor. You're casting him as a person.
Absolutely.
And he's amazing at what he does.
There are so many movies I've seen him in, and whether they're just tiny, small roles or that he's carrying the film, it doesn't matter because it's just John Candy.
Right.
And I'm okay with that.
Absolutely. And he has a very subtle technique of being able to show vulnerability, confidence, strength, tenderness. I mean, he can show it all just with a facial expression.
Oh, so good at it.
And it's amazing how he does that. He's very hard not to like.
Mm-hmm.
What I would have loved to have known, because really he rattled off a big string of hit movies and appearances from the mid 80s into the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
but passed away in 94 at the age of 43.
Yeah.
He wasn't really into what could have been his acting prime. We saw just the John Candy character. I would have loved to have known what would have gotten 10 years further down the line, where maybe he would have dabbled with some darker roles, or maybe he would have dabbled with some more complexity.
Yeah. I mean, he's the definition of gone too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like whenever you see Adam Sandler in all his comedic funny roles, but then you see him in a serious role and you're like, holy cow, I didn't know he could do that.
Right.
It's
Robin
amazing.
Williams.
Right.
You know, he's always the funny guy. And then he, that one movie where he's the bad guy.
He did a string of them.
Yeah,
there was Insomnia. There was 1 Hour Photo, 24 hour. 1 Hour Photo, 24 hour.
Something like that. That's when I was thinking. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, but he Death to Smoochie. I wouldn't necessarily call him a good guy. He's pretty vile, but he brought this complexity to it, and so where he moved away from, I'm just going to be a funny guy, I'm going to do some other things, and but we never had a chance to see what a mature John Candy would have been.
Yeah,
and I think it's a shame. But what we did get in movies like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Cool Runnings, The Great Outdoors, Spaceballs. I'm a Mog. I'm a man. I'm a dog. My own best friend. These are things that will be stuck with us forever, and I'm okay with that.
And one of my favorite things is a lot of those memorable lines from John Candy were all ad-libbed.
Yeah, because the directors that worked with him knew we don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to detail this line. He'll go with it.
And one of my favorite things about John Candy, the scene he's in Home Alone, where he helps Kevin's mom get home.
Mm-hmm.
And he was only on set for like a day. And so much of the interaction between that we saw from him, completely improvised on the set.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I don't think he got paid for that.
Yeah, I believe I read that too.
It's just a good old guy doing a favor.
Right.
What a amazing human being.
Yeah. And it's just a shame. But let's move on. Who else we got?
Next up, I have Tia Russell, played by Jean Louisa Kelly.
Why don't you just shut up?
Yeah, that's
short and sweet.
That sums up her character.
Oh, fuck you, Tia. Tia's the moody, sharp-tongued teenage niece who is not thrilled about Uncle Buck's arrival.
She, right from the get-go, she's a teenage girl who really wants people to think she's a grown-up.
Yeah.
But she is not.
Yeah, she's caught in that purgatory between being a kid and being an adult, and she does not like being there. And
No.
she was a bitch before Uncle Buck even showed up.
I think the saddest part about it, though, is she wants to be that adult, but she's also, like, she complains to, like, 4 and 5 year olds. Like, would you put Miles and Maisie around 4 or 5 years old?
They're going to school, so they're older than that.
So like 5, 6, 7.
Well, we know Maisie is 6.
Six?
Maisie's
Okay.
the youngest,
I missed
right?
that part.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are they not twins?
No.
Okay. All right. So 6, 7, 8, whatever. But she's like complaining about, like, talking to these young kids that don't understand anything. She's complaining to them about their life situation. So like she's like just completely lost.
Yeah, she's trying to take on that adult role with those younger siblings.
Yeah.
But she has no idea how.
And then complaining about family stuff to them.
Yeah.
Like they want crackers. Like they don't care.
What I find interesting, though, about Tia is she's so hard and so jaded for so much of this movie, and the flip that we get later towards the end.
It was
It was quick.
It was quick.
was too quick. It was way too quick.
Yeah. And we'll get into that.
Yep.
But the other thing that bugged me about this character, though,
Mhm.
and I don't know how much of this is the directing. I don't know how much is the writing. I don't know how much of this was the choice of Jean Louisa Kelly. The over enunciation
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
bugged the piss out of me.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that I question when I watch this movie is she was very sharp-tongued, and she was very, brazen until it came to her relationship with her boyfriend, Bug. She seemed like a major follower when in the family, she wanted to be such a vocal leader.
Right. Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
why, if you're that strong in the family, why are you letting this piece of shit bug just take advantage of everything?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that kind of strange. But then again, I was never a teenage girl.
Same.
So I don't know if she felt comfortable being boisterous and confident at home. And then, trying to get the acceptance of others, especially being in a new town, new school, trying to make new friends. Maybe that was part of it too. I don't know.
You may be correct.
I may
Brian.
be.
That is correct.
Right. Who else we got?
Next up, I have Miles Russell, played by Macaulay Culkin.
I'm earning a keep. Uncle Buck's got me busting my hump.
He says a little hard work would put some hair on my chest. At least I'm learning a trade.
That's true, Miles. Miles is the curious, fast-talking middle child with a knack for interrogation.
Well, he could spit out those 20 questions, couldn't he?
He sure could.
Yeah.
And I loved how deadpan he was throughout this entire thing. It was great.
If you've honestly, really, this you could just tell me Miles was Kevin McAllister's long lost twin brother, and I would say okay,
I'd believe that.
because they really are the exact same character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just picked up from one White House in somewhere near Chicago to another White House somewhere near Chicago.
Mhm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Big old white houses in this
A
neighborhood.
lot of them.
I mean, I don't know if we really need to go into Macaulay Culkin. Like, we all know that he's messed up a few times, and
Yeah.
like he's kind of made a resurgence here in some
Right.
commercials.
From what I've read,
and-
he's squarely landed back on his feet.
yeah,
Well, yeah,
like, he seems healthy.
Yeah, I mean-
that's nice.
Through the 90s, multiple hit movies, as we've already talked about many times, Home Alone, as well as the Home Alone sequel, Lost in New York, My Girl,
Mhm.
The Good Son, with Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
And then, into the early 2000s, he was still doing some things, so they started to get a little bit more artsy. We had the movie Saved, as well as Party Monsters. And then, there was some issues for a while.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, you see it a lot with some child actors.
Right.
Yeah.
You start that young, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you get exposed to a lot of stuff,
Well, and then there was an issue with his parents. Didn't he have to divorce his
Yep.
parents?
Hmm.
They were
Stealing his
allegedly
money.
taking his money.
Yeah.
And when he was old enough to really figure it out, boy, what a sucky job by the parents to do that. Huh?
No kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, as we've talked, he's kind of made a return, and was even on a season of American Horror Story double feature
Nice.
in 2021. Married, has 2 kids, seems to be doing well, and even now has a or a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
There
Good
you
for
go,
him.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. I'll
Good for
root for
you.
the guy.
Good on you.
Absolutely.
Who else we got?
Seems like his brother's kind of overshadowing him, but that's fine.
Yeah,
He just won
it
like an
happens.
Oscar or whatever. That's cool. Next up, I have Maisie Russell, played by Gabby Hoffman.
My uncle was microwaving my socks and the dog threw up on the couch for about an hour.
She was so darn sweet. Maisie's the sweet, innocent youngest sibling who quickly bonds with Uncle Buck.
The interaction that Maisie has with honestly everyone in this
Yeah.
movie, oh,
We're great.
so damn cute.
And this was her film debut as well.
Yeah.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
She was really good for how first debuted she was.
And really, Gabby Hoffman was like the high watermark for cinematic cuteness in the late 80s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was also in Field of Dreams.
She was the daughter.
Yeah. And just adorable then, too. But
Which
yeah,
is weird. There were 2 actresses from this movie in Field of Dreams.
That's right.
Mhm. And we'll get to the other one.
Yeah.
So was she one of the ones that came out of the cornfield?
No.
No,
Those
she-
were...
Are you thinking of Children of the Corn?
Like baseball uniforms.
Oh,
Just walking out.
yeah. No. She wasn't a baseball player from
Oh.
the 1920s.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. She was the guy who built the baseball field.
Uh-huh.
She was his daughter.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then there was a water world.
Don't get me started on the child actor in Waterworld.
My bad. Sorry, guys.
But these days, much more known for her TV work. And she earned Emmy nominations for Transparent and Girls.
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen either of those.
I've seen a few episodes of Girls.
Yeah.
I've not gotten into Transparent, though it has been on my list of things to watch for about 3 years now.
Okay.
You'll get to it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have a 3-year list also, but every year it just grows to like 4 or 5.
You
6.
guys have a hell of a queue.
My dad sends me things and he's like, put this on your list. And I do.
Mhm.
I really do. I just never watch any of them.
So you have a physical list.
I do. And it's in my phone. It's a notepad.
Oh, good for you.
Mm-hmm. I'll never get to it.
All right, who else can we talk about?
Next up, I have Marcy Dahlgren Frost, played by Laurie Metcalf.
So, I'll just go home and wait for the Federal Express man.
So she's the nosy, flirty neighbor with big hair and bigger intentions.
Laurie Metcalf.
Yeah.
Grew up minutes away from here.
From where?
She grew up in Edwardsville, Illinois.
Did she really?
Yeah.
She did.
In fact, there is an experimental theater on the Southern Illinois University Edwardsville campus, the Metcalf Theater.
And that's all. That's based on her?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Though she didn't go to school there.
Oh.
She went to Illinois State.
Okay.
But
she was much more known for a different role.
Yep. The sister from Roseanne.
Yeah.
Which for some reason I've gone completely blank on what her name is. Jackie on
Jackie
Roseanne.
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah, I thought this character was just kind of, there was a purpose for it to cause strife between Buck and his girlfriend.
Why did they make her so fucking weird?
That's a good question.
And didn't even that they made her weird, they shot her weird.
They sure did.
There was so much wide angle lens given to her.
Bizarre.
And it's not flattering at all.
No, heck no.
And I don't know why. And some of it, like, we'll get into it, but the scene where her and Buck are dancing, it kind of made a little sense, but it's used outside of that context. And they give her less than flattering cinematography. And on top of it, the bizarre delivery of her words, the odd makeup.
I was going to say less than desirable dialogue.
Yeah. And like the way her eyes moved around, like she was twitchy.
I think I almost wondered whether she was originally written to be someone with like some kind of mental derangement, because that's the treatment she was given, like someone who might stab you in your sleep.
Yeah.
And maybe that was cut out. I don't know. Maybe the script was much longer, and maybe there's more things that just didn't make the final cut.
And that's a good thought there, because I thought the character, as it was written, would have made more sense if there was just a little bit more backstory.
Maybe she was on meth.
Maybe that's the backstory. But I don't know. Was meth a thing in '89, or is that
they used to call it speed?
Meth and speed are the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about drugs.
Hey, I learned something today.
I know a guy.
The star went by and it said, "Hey, the more you know."
Do.
Instead of more, it just said mo. The mo you know.
There was just so much oddness to the way this character was presented to us.
And isn't that kind of weird coming from Mr. Mom? Where the neighbor across the street, which we have a lot of similarities there, the neighbor across the street, she wasn't as attractive as Jack's wife, but she was kind of sexy.
Yeah.
And she maybe did more exotic things than Jack's wife would have done.
I'm going to throw out a theory here.
But this was just creepy.
I'm just going to throw out a theory, and I could be entirely wrong. I could be way out of left field. So if I'm just batshit nuts, forgive me.
Oh, we'll tell you.
Yeah, I can't wait for this.
So John Hughes, I think, may have drawn a lot of the inspiration. We know that he brought in a lot of the inspiration for both this movie and Mr. Mom from his experience as a stay-at-home dad.
Mm-hmm.
Given the fact that both these movies do have characters that are somewhat similar, neighbor ladies,
you think maybe
who are hanging out with the fatherly figure at home, laying the seeds for dirty deeds. Maybe his actual life partner, wife, spouse, whatever it may have been, after seeing Mr. Mom, she's like, you know what? I know this is based on you. Did you have an affair with what's her name?
Make her crazy.
So whenever Uncle Buck came around and his chance to do it right, he made her fucking nuts.
Yeah, I could see that.
It was almost like payback. It's or at least making it clear, I am not into the lady across the street, dear.
Because she's nuts.
She's nuts.
So here's the thing, though. Is
I'm not parking my schooner in Tuna Town in her driveway.
So the messed up part of that is, like, if it really happened, then you have to explain that to your wife. If it's a fantasy of being a stay-at-home dad, then you still have to explain that to your wife.
And the problem is, even with Mr. Mom, because he didn't have final script control and it was taken away from him and other people wrote it and someone else directed it, the fantasies that Jack had about what's her name during the soap opera scene and the fact that he was even debating whether he should sleep with her, had no, he may have gotten blamed for some things that he had no control over. But in this case, he had control, so he wanted to make it damn clear.
This lady's crazy.
I really hope his wife's not listening to our podcast. Because
she...
you may have just planted a seed.
Oh, she'll probably kill him.
He's already dead.
Who?
John Hughes has been dead for a long time.
See, I tell you, I don't watch.
You're
research.
terrible at this game.
I don't do things.
Yeah.
Like, I watch the movies you guys tell me to watch, and then I talk about them. Like, I don't look into stuff.
Is his wife dead?
I don't know.
If she's not, would you bang her?
Oh, I have no idea. If she could be the crazy neighbor lady, and
what if she really is?
I'd say no.
Wow.
Oh, maybe that's who he was like typecasting.
Maybe his wife is actually Marcy.
Maybe she's the one who would go next door and be all flirty.
What a bitch move that would
man!
Right?
But yeah, he died in 2009 at the age of 59.
Rest his soul.
Yeah. Okay. We have
my bad
gone way off the rails once again. So let's get it back on the track. And who can we talk about next?
All right. Last up on my list, I have Shanice. Forgive me for this one. Kowalski, played by Amy Madigan.
I just got to get this out. I mean, I know I'm kind of like harping on something here, but just let me say it. I mean, I'm working on history. I'm working on the past. You're going to show up for work. You swear to God in the AM. Promise.
Oh, poor Shanice. So Shanice is Buck's long-suffering girlfriend who's tired of waiting for him to grow up.
Yeah, and I don't know how long they've been together. Years.
Was it like 6 or 8 years?
I think it was 8.
Yeah, 8 years.
I've been stringing her along for 8 years.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, she definitely seems. So the kid's mom, I don't even know her name, but Tia Miles Maisie's mom makes mention to that lady who sells tires, as if she's an undesirable human being.
Exactly.
I never got this from Shanice.
Yeah, I never got that impression.
She actually
either.
seemed like a pretty well put together human being.
Well, and also her last name is Kowalski, and that's the name of the tire place. So it's Kowalski. She's family that owns this business.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't sound like...
It kind of goes back to my theory that the family didn't want to bother to get to know Buck or his circle or his world. So they just assumed what they were, but didn't know what they were.
It's not like she was like dealing stolen tires down at the Tire Man. You know what I mean?
I love that guy.
I do too. He's amazing.
Shout out to the Tire Man.
He will plug your tire so quickly.
And your wife.
Maybe. Smooth operator. I need a minute. Oh, that one tickled my insides.
Yeah, that was quick.
And your wife. All right, I'm good.
Yeah, for much of this movie, she's really not given much opportunity to be anything beyond just a reminder that Buck can be a better person.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But, we get some softening.
We get some depth.
Yeah. We get some emotion. And, she kind of starts off feeling a bit rough around the edges, but by the end, she's just so likable.
She is. And, about halfway through that transformation, I actually kind of felt sorry for her.
Yeah.
Because,
the situation is not, her relationship with Buck, she clearly loves him.
Mm-hmm.
And she's being as patient as she can be.
And she wants more from him.
Yeah.
But he was not ready to give more of himself.
I think Buck just needed to learn how to love himself before he could give love to others.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
You gotta love yourself
That's
first.
so off the mark. You don't have to love yourself.
Then you're just fucking others.
Right. You do need to love yourself. Yes, that's quality stuff there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But she is a tough chick. Regardless, she speaks her mind, strong, independent, but isn't so independent that she doesn't have a desire to be with someone who adds something to her life.
Yeah, she wants a family.
Yeah, she has some vulnerabilities.
She wants to hear the pitter-patter.
Yeah.
As she says.
I'll buy a mouse on a, what did he say?
A mouse and a piece of tin.
And a piece of tin, to hear the pitter-patter. His quips were great in this movie.
They absolutely.
Yeah. They were amazing.
But she is known as well, and we touched on, hinted at anyway, Field of Dreams.
Was she one?
No.
Of the guys that came out?
No, she was not a baseball player from the 20s and 30s coming out of a cornfield.
My bad.
She was the wife of the guy who built the field.
Oh.
And then the actress who played Maisie was their daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, so both of those actresses were in Field of Dreams.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
She was also she was also in the movie Streets of Fire and in Gone Baby Gone, in which her husband, Ed Harris, also appeared. And the two, they've been married since 1983 and frequently collaborate on projects both on film and TV.
Love Ed Harris.
Yeah.
Was he?
No. He was not a baseball player coming out of the cornfield.
Have you ever?
All right, I'm done now. Sorry.
Serious question.
Why? Don't even bother. Don't even bother.
Have you ever seen the movie Field of Dreams?
I have, yeah.
Oh, good deal.
I have. I'm just fucking with Seth.
It was one of the 4 movies he's seen in his life.
And you're lucky that I saw it because it was not a rom-com.
Kinda.
No.
Click my pin at you.
Well, before we move from here into the scenes of the movie, let's take a moment and talk a little bit about the Axeman IPA.
Dank.
Diggity dank.
So on the side of the can, it describes itself as dank, hoppy, loud. It's
for sure
all the above.
Yeah.
It's hoppy.
It's loud in my mouth.
It's dank. I've had danker.
It's not the dankest.
No. It's approachably dank.
Yeah.
I'm, as stated before, a bit of an IPA snob.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like all of them, but this one's pretty good.
I'd have to be in the mood for it.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be an after mowing the lawn beer. This isn't going to be chilling in the pool beer.
No.
Yeah, you're right there.
But it is. If I am in the right mood, this isn't bad.
Could we call this a wintertime IPA?
I guess. I'm not the keeper of the key when it comes to what we label what. But no, I'm sure. Why not?
There's something about an IPA. Like, I have my own summertime favorites, and I have IPAs that I can drink in colder weather. I'm weird like that. Like, I can't drink a stout in the summer. I'm not going to.
I absolutely know where you're coming from on that. Like, I've not had a stout probably since March.
So if you call this, like, you can't drink this after mowing the lawn or in the pool, I would call this a wintertime IPA.
I would definitely drink this sitting around the campfire with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I would call this a nighttime IPA.
Ooh.
Once the sun goes down, I think this plays, regardless of time of year.
And I do think this would be, like, the colder the better on this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can see where you're coming from there. But yeah, I like it. Way to go, Axeman. Way to go, Surly Brewing.
And not that this has anything to do with the taste of it. I love the can. The skulls.
It's a lot of skulls.
A lot of skulls. The axes. I even love the font in the Axeman.
It's pretty aggressive styling and artwork there. And I like it. It goes with the taste.
It does.
It fits the motif.
Yeah. It's loud. It's dank.
It's axy.
Yeah. All right.
Just swallowed an axe.
So let's get into the scenes of this movie. And this movie starts off, the first characters we meet are the kids.
Mm-hmm.
All coming home from school, each in their own individual way. Tia walking up to the house, Maisie getting off the school bus, Miles dodging his way through backyards. But they all get into the house, and the kids are all home. And we start to see the dynamic that exists amongst them.
Get your bag off the table. People eat there.
They eat on plates.
Don't give me any crap, Maisie.
I'm telling. You said crap.
There's nothing wrong with crap.
Oh, really? I thought that was a swear.
No, you're thinking of shit.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. So I like the little details of the beginning here. And like Maisie, when she gets out the school bus, she's jumping from paver to paver.
Yeah, it shows her personality a little bit.
Yeah. And then Miles, like he's having to jump to hang up his coat on the hook and he just can't make it. It takes him like 4 times to get there. Like it's just like little small details that John Hughes is really good at.
Mm-hmm. And so small things that make this movie a little bit more real. Mm-hmm. And it shows that this is a director who knows kids, because those are little things that are just part of being a parent. You know, seeing your kid do these things and be these ways.
Yeah, I love the fact that Maisie's after-school snack was putting spray cheese on cheese balls.
Right.
That's totally something a 6 or 7 year old would do.
If only she had a Twinkie and a hot dog.
That's right. She'd be set.
But yeah, you know, there's just this dynamic between the kids and honestly a little bit of fun interplay. And you see the personalities of each amongst this. You see Tia, who's, you know, very, you know, a little bit full of herself, very jaded, you know, very, you know, keeping the kids in line.
Wanting to be authoritative.
Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And you see Miles being precocious, but a little bit foul-mouthed. You see Maisie being insightful, but just silly and funny at the same time. And it's all just kind of works, and they have this dynamic. But through this dynamic, we also get a little bit of additional exposition, because, you know, Tia lets everyone know that, you know, the family recently moved because the parents weren't making enough cash. Who knows what the actual reason is?
Right.
Very snotty, but there's a degree of truth probably in there. They probably did move from Indianapolis to Chicago for business reasons.
But this is
also, as most moves are, for business reasons.
This is also where like what I alluded to earlier, where it's like, why is she talking to these young kids about adult things?
Right.
Like she has no one to talk to.
Because she's trying to play an adult. She's trying to play adult.
But like they don't care.
No,
they don't.
But she's not adult enough to know that they don't care.
Right.
The other thing that I love in this little opening scene that we have with the kids, Tia tells Maisie to feed the dog, and she calls out for the dog, and the dog
pops out
of the dryer.
Yeah.
Has Percy been in the dryer all day?
I mean, he's not letting himself in there.
Like, who let him in?
But he can get himself out.
Right. And like, when did he get in there?
A little bit later here in this next scene, we get the full family dynamic as mom and dad are home and they're all sitting around the table enjoying a dinner of Chinese takeout.
Yeah.
This is such a wonderful dinner, Mother. How do you find the time?
And there's the over-enunciation. It's been driving me nuts the whole movie.
And just pure bitchiness.
Yeah.
Right. Now, when was the last time that you and your family got Chinese takeout and you actually used chopsticks to eat it?
Oh, I'm the only person in my family who even knows how to use chopsticks. And no, never have we had Chinese takeout and I've used chopsticks.
I'm using a fork and I'm shoveling that shit in my mouth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, chopsticks just slow you down.
Right. Yeah. Like I've never seen anyone. Like the Chinese place that we normally get our food from, when we do get it, they don't even give you chopsticks.
Right. The comment that Tia made at the table, would anybody in your family have been able to get away with making a comment like that?
No.
Oh, hell no.
Mm-mm. That's a one-way ticket to a backhand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a smack right to the
I
mouth.
give them credit, though, because regardless of what's going on, this is a family who sits down for dinner at a table. And whereas so many other movies you don't see that kind of family unity. And for me growing up, dinner time around the table was the cornerstone.
It was.
And I know, for my daughter, a lot of her friends, they don't do that. I know when I grew up, a lot of my friends didn't do that. And definitely it seems like movies and TV shows, you see kids grabbing things, running out the door. having them all come together, even when you have a contentious teenager still at the table, regardless of whatever dynamic's going on, it still says something about this family.
It does. Now, when I grew up, we had to stay at the dinner table until the last person was finished eating. And it was the time for table talk. How was your day? And my mom was really good at that. She would ask questions. What did you learn today? What exciting thing happened today? And so we'd all go around and we'd answer those kinds of questions. And we kind of came back together as a unit. It seems like they're trying to do the same thing.
They're trying. I think they have the basics, but they haven't clearly been asking the questions, because the questions they do ask, they are so wrong about. Because like Mom asked Miles, how was your hockey game yesterday? When apparently hockey has been over, as Miles tells us, for 2 weeks.
Yep.
So,
and again, why we didn't really highlight the parents.
Yeah.
And the main cast of characters, because like what, they're not in this thing.
No, they're there to base at the beginning of the movie, then they leave. And really, honestly, what they're there for, they don't really add much.
But again, another reason why Tia might be so resentful. Like, Mom doesn't even know that hockey is done.
I think,
and she's the one that has to like make sure that they eat and they're home from school and they're getting snacks and doing homework. Like,
there's clearly,
I kind of relate to her a little bit. Like, I feel bad for her a little.
There are multiple levels to the resentment. As she alluded to, they moved.
Right.
She got pulled away from friends in her life, and so she's mad about that. And pretty much everything after that, her parents, whatever they do, is going to be wrong.
Yep. Which is the typical like 15-year-old angst, right? Like, I was happy with my friends and you moved me and I'm sad now and I'm angry and I want to hate you. But if Mom doesn't even know that hockey has been over for a while now, like, how involved are these parents? And how much responsibility does Tia have?
I think what it just does is it shows how hectic a family where both parents work can be. Things can escape.
They can, but who's taking him to hockey? So maybe the dad should have been like, hockey was over last week. He didn't say a word.
He didn't. He hardly said anything.
Well, his response was, I guess you don't want a hockey stick for your birthday then.
Right. So he doesn't even know. So who's taking him to hockey? Because Tia can't drive.
Yeah. So basically we have a family who is going through the motions of being a stable, healthy family, but multiple members have basically, for whatever reason, and I don't know, who knows why, but they're checked out.
Yeah, they're disconnected.
Yeah, and
they don't ever get into it.
There's just a lot of tension though, and there's a moment between Tia and her mom that said a lot, in which Mom basically calls out Tia and says that I've had enough of your ugliness.
But then doesn't follow it up with any repercussion.
No.
I'm tired of your ugliness. Go to your room. You're grounded. You're this. You're that. You're doing the dishes. There's no follow-up repercussions for her being a bitch.
Yeah. I'm just tired of you being a bitch.
Right. That's all. I just want to say my piece.
Yeah. She wasn't a very strong character.
So not the perfect parents.
No, of course not.
But we cut from this dinner scene to another dinner scene. This will be between Buck and Shanice. And they're sitting and having dinner at a diner. And we learn that Buck is supposed to start working for Shanice, which is something he's, struggling with.
All right, if you gotta know, I'm really not that excited about going to work for my girlfriend. There, I said it. It's out of the way.
Okay, Buck, I love you. I can't help myself. I want to get married. I want to have a family. I want to do it with you. Well, the clock is ticking away here. I would just like to hear the pitter-patter of tiny feet before I die.
I'll get you a mouse and a piece of sheet metal.
So one of the things, they were eating pie.
He was eating pie.
He was eating pie. What's your favorite pie? What's your go-to pie?
I think the safest play is apple.
Okay.
I've never had an apple pie that was bad. But the best pie, when it's good, peach.
Okay. All right.
I'm a big peach pie fan. Love the peach pie. That's a good call there. But my absolute favorite is probably strawberry rhubarb pie.
Ooh,
I've never gotten into the rhubarb.
Yeah, I like it. I think the tartness of the sweetness of the cherries kind of complements the tartness of the rhubarb. And if it's done well, and the consistency is key, because rhubarb can turn to mush, and that's gross.
Okay.
But when it's done well, yeah, I'm going to go strawberry rhubarb.
So I do have a favorite pie. I haven't eaten it. That's a weird one. So my grandma, who passed away, she made the world's best pecan pie. And I love pecan pie. But I can't eat a store-bought
Pecan pie, yeah, because it's not hers. Yeah,
Right.
you've had the pinnacle.
Right, exactly.
Right, yeah.
Like, there's nothing like a grandma's pecan pie. So I'll go with like you said, like an apple with a crumble, the crumble top.
There's no apple pie that's bad.
I don't need the lattice on top. Give me the crumble.
It doesn't add anything.
Throw
Cool
some vanilla ice cream on top.
Yeah, a little warm apple pie with ice cream, a little a la mode action.
A dark horse I will throw into this conversation. Burger King. The Hershey Sundae pie.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I've had that.
Damn good.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of high nights where that that garnished my meal.
I've had that. I usually have that pie past 1 a.m.
Yeah.
It has been years. So, yeah.
But yeah, that's solid.
It's not a bad play.
Nope.
Yeah, so Shanice is not convinced though that Buck is going to kind of work. And basically what it comes down to is she wants Buck to add a bit of responsibility to his life. Wants him to have a dependable income. Wants him to have a 9 to 5 or at least some semblance of employment
and structure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And he is all about his freedom. He's all about doing what he wants to do. And his struggle to agree to this job is very much an amalgam for his inability to commit to her. He doesn't want to be tied down. But she pretty much says, like, do you promise you will be here tomorrow in the AM? And I thought his response was pure gold.
I'll be honest with you. If I could think of an excuse that you would buy, I'd use it.
Just another reason why I love Uncle Buck.
Lo and behold,
yeah,
as things unfold,
yeah, that excuse is coming. Because back at the family's house out in the suburbs, 2:00 in the morning, phone rings, and turns out Grandpa had a heart attack, and the parents are needing to hit the road, but they need someone to watch the kids. They go through the Rolodex of people in the neighborhood that might be able to watch the kids. They talk about Marcy across the street, but
no,
Mom doesn't think that's a good idea. And they're like, all right, how about the Nevilles? And so that was their plan. And so that's what they're gonna do is they're gonna, but Dad just throws out another option just in case.
This is just a thought. What about Buck? Now, I'm sure he'd be glad to help out.
This is not the time to discuss your brother. I don't want him here.
It's just a suggestion.
He doesn't have kids. He isn't married. He doesn't even work.
He's a little out there, but he's responsible. And he's family.
Buck is not the kind of guy I feel comfortable leaving my kids with. The trashy people he hangs out with, that woman who sells tires.
There it is.
The horse racing, the gambling. Can you see him in this house?
Fuck you, Cindy.
Yeah, and you see, just in that conversation, where the rift between Buck and this family lies. Because the dad, did he ever get a name?
No.
Oh, no, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby. He calls him Bob.
Bob seems to, he's using, honestly, pretty endearing adjectives to describe Buck, calling him responsible, which what I've seen of Buck at this point, I don't know if that's a word I would have used, but this is a word that Bobby uses to describe Buck. So there's love. There's a desire to see him, and where Cindy is so hardcore against Buck, that you can see where this rift grew from.
Again, what Cindy thinks Buck is versus what he really is.
Right, because they haven't even seen Buck
since they moved
in there,
and they both live in the Chicagoland area.
Well, and actually, as movie goes on, it becomes clear it's longer than that. It's been years since they've seen each other.
Mm-hmm.
They have just some point in the near recent past moved to the Chicagoland area, and they haven't made the time to connect with Buck. But given just how anti-Buck is, that Cindy seems to be, and how pro-Buck Bobby seems to be, you can kind of read between the lines to see what happened. That at some point, Buck pissed Cindy off to the point where she basically said, "You cut him out of our life now."
Oh, she cut him out of the wedding photos.
Yeah.
We find out later. Yeah.
And she also, like, whenever they were having this conversation and Buck is talking to Bob, he said, "Do we have Cindy's stamp of approval on this?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knows Cindy hates him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, is this fine with your wife? Because, like, from what I know, she
would not be fine with this.
Didn't want anything to do with me.
And we don't know how often maybe Bobby and Buck still have a bit of a repartee.
Yeah.
Buck, they've at least communicated enough to where Buck knows they're in the area, knows the general vicinity of where they live, if not the exact address.
Well, they burn their bushes.
Okay. We'll get into this a little bit. I think there was some the way it was written, it could be read two different ways. And I think it meant to be one way, but I initially heard it the other way, which I think you did too.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some, it's not, but regardless, they've not seen each other in quite a while.
Right.
Bobby's into it. Cindy's not.
Well, they're desperate.
Yeah. But they're moving ahead with the Nevilles. And so, kids are all kind of, Miles is up. Tia's up, even in the middle of the night, and they're still trying to figure these things out. And Mom's breaking the news to Miles that they got to go out of town because Grandpa's had a heart attack, and he wants to know who's going to be watching them. And, right now the plan is that it's going to be the Nevilles.
Who's going to take care of us?
Mr. and Mrs. Neville?
Is that a joke?
You don't like the Nevilles?
The dog's a ball sniffer.
Don't talk like that.
Mr. Neville yelled at Michael Larson because the dog was sniffing Michael's balls.
What's the other word for balls?
Nuts. Nuts. I got it. Nuts.
Dad, though, comes in and has bad news. Nevilles are out of town.
They're in Florida. Yeah.
So they've only got one more option to consider.
Buck.
Bobby, you little pissant, how you doing? Huh? Jeez. What are you, drunk? Hey, you know something? We gotta get together. I haven't been over your house since you moved in. Hey, I'm real sorry about those bushes, too. I had no idea that they would all catch on fire like that. You were right. I should never have put the barbecue that close.
Now, I think I read it initially the same way you did, that he burned the bushes at their new house and that he had been at the new house.
But I just heard then.
Yeah, I think what he meant to say, I haven't been to your new house yet. By the way, sorry, at your old house, I set your bushes on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I took it. Yeah.
Now that I've heard it again, for sure.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen him in a while.
No, it's been quite a while.
And you're calling him at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
To come over in the middle of the night.
But, Buck, he's, on board.
Yeah, he says, okay, hey, it's family. I'm going to do this.
Yeah. And so he, going to get a few things together and I'll be there as quick as I can. And, which is good news. And, I guess from Cindy's point of view, Bob's going to give her whatever little bit of optimism that he possibly can about the situation.
He was asleep and I woke him up. And this hour, that's a good sign.
It's the small victories, right?
Right, exactly.
Buck, back in his apartment, though, has to break the news to Shanice that he won't be coming into work in the morning, that an excuse has cropped up.
It has.
And, yeah, that could have gone better as well.
Just no, but you don't. Would you just let me get. You're not. Give me a. Oh.
Goodbye.
Good old John Candy.
Yeah, that was funny. I enjoyed that. That was funny.
Yeah. So Buck hits the road, heading to the family's house. And along the way, this is where it becomes clear that he has not seen this family in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying his best, even just to remember the kids' names and how old they are.
And then he pulls up to the wrong house.
Yeah. And knocking on the wrong door and yelling, for everyone. And, Bob sees this and calls him over and, and has to tell him we're on this side of the street. And, Buck's just yelling and neighbors are now awake and they're pissed off. And, but there are a lot of white houses on that street.
There are.
There's so many.
Buck is checking in with Cindy and, trying to, I guess, in his own way, comfort her about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things he wants to let her know is that he's no longer smoking cigarettes, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I stopped smoking cigarettes.
Oh, good.
Isn't that something? I'm on to cigars now. I'm onto a 5-year plan. I eliminated the cigarettes, then I go to cigars, then I go to pipes, then I go to chewing tobacco, then I'm onto that nicotine gum. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds just like a regular old smoker.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he has some questions he needs to ask. In particular, one of the things he needs to know is what the plunger situation is, because, doesn't have very good plumbing at his house.
And he's been eating cheese like a mouse.
Yeah, eating lots of cheese.
I don't know why.
A little bound up. You think it's an allergy thing? Or... Yeah, she does not look confident, but this is the ship they're sailing on. And so they do eventually head out the door. Buck then, goes to peruse the shelf, check out their fine plates and diningware,
and he drops one.
Oh, and he's like, "Oh,
but it doesn't break.
It's unbreakable."
Yeah,
and then he breaks it.
Yeah, he tests that theory on the corner of the piano,
and it breaks.
Yeah,
yeah. So this is Buck. This is Buck in their house, and we cut to the next morning, and Buck is making. I don't know. Was he making breakfast for like the firehouse?
He's furiously cooking everything.
Yeah, and he's got trays of sausage and bacon and making some kind of hash. He's got cantaloupe or grapefruit cut in half. All these different things. And Tia comes and he's just singing and just happy and trying to get the day going. And well, Tia comes down and Tia's Tia. And gives him the cold shoulder right off the bat. And she goes past some cooking and gets herself a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm. Like every 15-year-old girl does.
And
straight up black coffee in a mug.
Yeah. She's straight up black coffee.
And he reads through that right away.
Oh yeah. And she sits down and she doesn't say anything. But I'll give her credit, the actress, that she played it well. She you could see just from her eyes. She did not like that coffee one bit.
Right.
Yeah. But trying so hard to make it look like she was a badass and a grown up.
Yeah, make it look like a grown up.
And Buck basically calls her out. It's like, your
mom know you drink coffee?
Yeah. And even asked her, it's like, is there a reason you're being so cold to me? And her response is like, oh, am I being cold to you? And just this all right off the bat.
Yes,
this contention
sets the tone of that relationship moving forward right away.
Yep. Miles comes into the room, totally shocked.
Hey, how you doing?
Who are you?
I'm your Uncle Buck.
Do I have an uncle?
Unfortunately.
His "who are you" just killed
Holy
me.
smokes. He's cooking our garbage.
He's cooking our garbage. My favorite part, though, not only did he like, "Who are you?" and he but
jumps,
but Uncle Buck mimicked his entire energy and was like,
right,
I'm your Uncle Buck. And it was like the same.
They were on the same
thing.
plane.
Right.
It's almost like Miles could be a future Buck.
Right.
Yeah.
But I also, I don't even know it's that, or is it Buck is just naturally good with kids because he gives Miles back the same energy that Miles gave him.
He sure did.
And, there's just he's almost like a savant with children. And I think that there's something just so earnest about his character that I think he connects with people who are equally earnest as kids are.
And he's a bit childlike himself.
Yeah.
So it's easier for him to relate.
He's just a big kid.
Yeah.
And so there's that, and gives Miles his breakfast, but Miles isn't going to touch it because, he put onions in the eggs.
Right.
It looked like there was a lot of other things in those eggs too. But
and mustard for some reason.
Yeah, you went a little heavy on the mustard.
A little bit.
Hey, my favorite breakfast comes in piles. I would have eaten that.
Yeah, I would have
I
too.
would have tried it.
Yeah.
Not gonna not try it.
Tia goes off to get Maisie ready and get the kids to school. While this is going on, though, Miles needs to learn more about Buck.
Where do you live?
In the city.
Do you have a house?
Apartment.
Own or rent?
Rent.
What do you do for a living?
Lots of things.
Where's your office?
I don't have one.
How come?
I don't need one.
Where's your wife?
Don't have one.
How come?
It's a long story.
Do you have kids?
No, I don't.
How come?
It's an even longer story.
Are you my dad's brother?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
38.
I'm your dad's brother, all right.
You have much more hair on your nose than my dad.
How nice of you to notice.
I'm a kid. That's my job.
I thought Miles and Macaulay Culkin, who plays him, was phenomenal in this scene.
Absolutely.
I thought it was great.
The deadpan.
Yeah.
It was like Naked Gun.
Well, absolutely. Because my thought when I was listening to this is this could have been pulled right out of the pages of Dragnet.
Yeah, for sure.
But delivered by a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just that deadpan, but still simultaneously just funny.
It reminded me of the movie Airplane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So good.
Yeah. It just.
And for such a young kid to be able to pull that off, that's pretty amazing.
From here, though, we load the kids up, taking them to school.
In the jalopy.
Yeah. And this is another parallel I'll go to Mr. Mom because of the chaos of drop-off. Mm-hmm. Although this time, whereas Mr. Mom, the chaos was all because Jack was doing it the wrong way.
Right, the process.
In this case, it's because Buck drives just a giant POS.
Oh, yeah.
Coming around the corner, leaving a plume of smoke about a mile long behind him.
It's just a little oil.
Just a little.
Just a little oil.
And, pulls around. The kids see it coming. The kids definitely hear it coming way before it gets there. As he pulls up in front, he just waits. He's like timing it perfectly, and then boom,
the backfire,
and everyone hits the ground like they just heard a gunshot.
So this was the point where I pointed out like cheese number one that we didn't need in this movie was the kid that had soot all over his face, and I was like, we could have done without that.
Well, that kid, unless he was lying on the ground right next to the tailpipe, that was not going to happen.
No.
And like, regardless, the noise is funny enough. Like, dropping to the ground is funny enough.
Yeah,
like,
they didn't need that.
We don't need that extra bit of cheese.
But that's also not atypical from a John Hughes movie.
There was a couple of those in there. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it added much.
No,
nothing at all.
It was just a quick sight gag kind of thing. Tia is hiding. Doesn't want anyone to see her in this piece of shit car. Buck says, what time do I need to pick you up? And she doesn't want him to pick him up. She would rather...
I'll get a ride with friends.
Get a ride. And he's like, well, that's not what I told your parents I would do. I'm going to pick you up. Either you tell me what time to be here, or I'm going to call the school. And she's like, well, call the school and find out, but I'm not going to be here. And he's like, oh, you better be.
Stand me up today. And tomorrow, I'll drive you to school in my robe and pajamas and walk you to your first class. 4 o'clock, okay?
I'm stunned that I'm related to you.
You get the pole out of your keister, we're going to get along just fine.
He calls her out. Calls her out right there.
And he called her out on her bullshit a lot.
Oh, yeah.
He sure did.
So Tia goes off and, Buck turns to the kids and,
You think she hates me?
With a passion.
Really? You think it's the hat?
No.
No?
No.
A lot of people hate this hat. It angers a lot of people, just the sight of it.
It was a pretty stupid hat.
He's pretty self-aware.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I really like about him.
Right. And that's classic John Candy.
Yeah.
You know, like just talking to those kids like he's talking to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I loved about his character the most.
There is a poignant moment, though, we get back at the house. Because we see Buck sitting on the couch, flipping through Bob and Cindy's wedding album. And he finds a photo. My guess is he must recognize it to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Because he takes the photo out of the album. And in the photo that we see initially, it's Bob and Cindy and the minister. But when he pulls it out of the album, he realizes it's been folded.
Yep. His picture in the picture has been folded over and hidden.
And essentially, Buck comes face to the face with the fact that he has been erased from this family.
Right. And
So-
they only called him as a last resort.
So like this is where I want to know more. Like why didn't they go further in there was a point in the middle of this movie where it got kind of slow.
Yeah, they could have thrown a flashback. They
Like-
could have done something to tie up that end.
What did he do? What did he do to upset Cindy so bad?
So what I understand from reading is that when John Hughes originally turned in the script, it was 3 hours long. And it had to be cut back quite a bit to get it to where it'd be, a showable family kind of movie. I imagine that part of that extra hour and a half had to have been some more backstory about Buck and the family.
And the crazy neighbor, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because
right. Those are two things that were not made very clear. I mean, we do know that Buck set their bush on fire, but so what? That happened.
Right, it's a bush.
And quite frankly, if you thought the barbecue was too close to the bush, you should have just said, Buck, move the barbecue.
Exactly.
If you didn't do that, you're chicken shit. That problem's on you.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, that's like the Mayhem commercial. You know?
Right.
I'm your crazy brother likes to put the barbecue too close to the shrubs. If it burns down, you're going to be paying for this. And that's what happened. It was their fault. Get over it, Cindy.
I kind of thought Cindy's husband, the dad, was kind of a wet noodle.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Push over.
And that's the thing is like you would know, like if you don't trust Buck, then why are you trusting him with the barbecue grill? Unsupervised.
Yeah.
Like somebody like you, like I love you guys and I trust you guys. But if you come to my house for a barbecue, I'm going to cook. Like
Right.
I'm not just going to be like, hey, go ahead and cook stuff. It's not that I don't trust you, but it's my house. If I fuck something up and I burn my house down,
It's on you.
it's on me, not
the
on
guest.
you guys.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you know what? What's his name?
Bob.
Fuck you, Bob.
Yeah.
Pussy.
Damn turd. Okay. We then cut to the school where Buck is there to pick up Tia.
Mm-hmm.
This is also our first opportunity to meet Tia's love interest,
Bug.
Bug. Bug, thinks Buck's car is a piece of shit, which it is.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the engine rumbling, here's the backfire, and he has some thoughts that he would like to share with Buck about the condition of this vehicle.
You ever hear of a tune-up?
You ever hear of a ritual killing?
So my question on this, I was not a teen in the 80s. I just wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't born at the right time, I guess. Did teens in the 80s actually wear berets?
I don't remember that.
A few of the weird ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would Bug fall in line with those weird ones?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm over artsy. I'm super mysterious.
I'm French.
Or I'm one of the weird drama kids.
This high school was definitely from the shots we got of the kids sitting around out front, before school, after school. It is a school of nothing but goddamn archetypes.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically you went to the breakfast club, took those kids, and then multiplied them.
Yeah,
sure.
And that's all you got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this high school is full of stereotypes.
Yeah. And all seem to have like their own unique hats and vest choices that they all wore like uniforms.
Yep. Like wardrobe choices based on their circle.
So on the ride home, Buck is trying his best to warn Tia
about Bug.
Guy's a predator and you're his prey.
Oh, really?
You bet.
And how do you know?
When I was his age, I was the guy zooming the girls like you. Pretty face, big chip on your shoulder.
I recommend that you stay out of my personal life.
Your parents stay out of your personal life?
They don't know my personal life.
Have they met Twiddledink?
His name is Bug.
First or last?
First.
What's his last name? Spray?
You know, for somebody who's an uncle that has 0 kids,
yeah,
he was like the king of the dad jokes.
Right. Oh, he was. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I like that he laughed at himself.
Yeah.
After he said
He
that.
knew.
Oh, yeah.
He knew.
Uh-huh.
Why would... it has to be a nickname, right?
Right.
Bug?
Yeah, Bug's got to be a nickname.
What a stupid nickname.
I wonder why, though. Was he like a cockroach?
I would...
Like
you know
a
what?
piece of shit, scum of the earth.
Yeah, they probably wanted to give him a name that kind of represented his character.
Yeah.
So you knew a little bit about him just by knowing his name.
Just see him and you want to smash him with a shoe.
Back at the house, Maisie is doing a bit of negotiating with Buck. She wants to sleep in Buck's bed.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really into it.
Another drawback is that I'm a big drooler. You could wake up in the middle of the night thinking you were asleep in a swamp.
Moose drool.
Yep. You know, it didn't take Maisie long to just absolutely fall head over heels with Uncle Buck.
Yeah, kids are just more perceptive than grown-ups.
Yeah.
And I think there's just something so endearing and, again, childlike about Buck. He connects with kids, and I could see how they would reciprocate.
Yeah. It was so sweet too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it was very organic, not forced. Yeah, I thought it was well done there.
And he was trying so hard. Like, you don't want to sleep in the same bed with me. Like, you don't want to do that.
While this negotiating is going on, though, Cindy calls home and initially talks to Miles, and this is where Miles lets her know that Buck's putting him to work. Got to earn a trade, put some hair on my chest.
Earning his keep. Learning a trade.
Tia talks to Mom. She complains that Buck's ruining her life, and then tells some lies about Buck.
Oh, he's drinking.
Oh, yeah, he's drinking. He left Maisie and Miles alone while he went off elsewhere. I think at this point, though, I don't know. I'm actually torn. Mom doesn't seem fazed by any of this. Is it that she knows that Tia is lying, or that she just has no other choice, so she's just going to have to...
I think she believed Tia, because after the phone call, she hangs up and she yells, "Bob!"
Yeah.
In a real, nervous, kind of concerned way. So.
Yeah, but that was after talking to Buck, and I think Buck said a few things that could have also tipped the scales a little bit for her. Because when she does talk to Buck, Buck initially says that everything's fine, but he does have a few questions
about the plate.
Trying to source where he could find a
replacement.
Plate. Doesn't say replacement. Wants to know where you could find a plate, kind of like the fancy ones you have in the living room. And then has questions about how often you should feed the dog and whether you should let him drink from the toilet.
5 or 6 times a day and drinking the blue water from the toilet. Yeah.
That accounts for that stain in the front yard.
Yeah, the colorful stain in the grass.
Yeah. So Cindy's hangs up, calls for Bob because man,
it's his brother.
Yeah. But nothing else comes from that conversation, at least at this point. We do get to see, though, Buck struggling to sleep while Maisie and Miles and the dog
jump in bed
are all in the bed with him.
This is one of my favorite scenes. I really love how everyone wants to sleep with Buck in the bed and then also on the floor.
Right.
Like
Buck gets pushed out of the bed, so he gets a pillow and a blanket on the floor, and then he wakes up to all the kids on the floor snuggled up to him.
And it's like, get back in bed.
There is some editing here that bothers me, where it's like we see him fall out of the bed, and then all of a sudden see him fall out of the bed again, and see him fall out of the bed again, and see him fall out of the bed again. And it's like, was this supposed to mean that was 4 different days this has happened, or is this 4 times in a night?
I think it's 4 times in a night. I think it tells you why he ended up sleeping on the floor.
It was kind of weird.
I didn't think it was necessary.
But it was weird. Yeah, another thing that I didn't think was necessary.
Right.
Also.
Right.
It was an editor or whoever in that point thought, oh, this would be kind of funny, because whatever.
It was one of those things that I saw and I was like, that's odd. And then I just kind of glossed over it.
It didn't take me out of the movie.
Because the next part was so sweet.
Yeah, the next part was so good because at one point, Buck is finally just staying on the ground.
Right.
First, the dog crawls down.
On his belly.
And then Miles gets up, grabs his pillow, and goes down to the floor to join Buck.
And
then Maisie gets up, grabs her pillow, goes down the floor to get to join Buck.
It was.
And then
sweet.
Buck wakes up, and they all get back up into the bed, and they stay there for the rest of the night.
Yeah,
and it was cute, it was sweet, it was funny. Questionable editing, perhaps, but yeah, it was an adorable moment.
It was, which they almost ruined by trying to do too much.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. Like they could have messed that whole thing up.
Right.
From here, though, we get into one of the more questionable choices in the movie with our first introduction of Marcy.
Weirdo. Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you, my note on this entire interaction is Marcy is an odd duck.
I think that's a good way to put it.
And it's just weird.
This scene really didn't add anything to the movie to me.
It didn't.
It introduced her, but it didn't add anything to me.
And as we talked about earlier, there were choices made around Marcy, many choices made that don't make any sense.
They don't.
And this scene was one of them.
Right. Like, couldn't you have just taken Marcy out completely? And so now you have Buck, and like Buck was supposed to go to work. And he made the excuse, I can't go to work because I got to watch all these kids. And she's like, yeah, right. You're not watching all these kids. It's another excuse, blah, blah, blah. And you could have fed off of that storyline and just left Marcy out of this entire thing.
Right.
I mean, I think there's, especially with some of the things follow up, I think Marcy was a useful character for the plot.
She was there for a purpose for the plot.
But why she was presented in the way she was presented, I don't know.
Not any.
Super odd.
Yeah, between her presumptuousness, between her mannerisms, between the way she talks, between the way her makeup, everything. There were a whole stack of intentional choices that are just like, what?
So Buck is fighting with the washing machine. He can't get the washing machine open, and he's yelling at it, kicking at it, and talking all this stuff. And she just lets herself into the house. She overhears the commotion and the yelling, and she looks through the crack in the laundry room.
Open up! I'm gonna shove my load into you whether you like it or not. Come on!
That was the one I was going to highlight. If you didn't play it, I was going to say it.
And so she thinks somebody's
loading you.
Going back to the 80s rapey movies.
Yeah, right.
She thinks somebody's being accosted in the laundry room. And it's just Buck trying to get the door open.
But we also, the only reason we then get our interaction between Buck and Marcy is that while she's being a looky-loo through the crack in the door, the dog comes up and we get a weird fisheye lens shot of a dog licking.
What'd that dog lick?
Exactly.
Another rapey scene.
Yeah. And she jumps and screams.
Alerting Buck.
Jumps and screams. Yeah. We have cartoon sound effects thrown in here for some reason. And then we get the interaction between the two of them, which is, again, also really cartoonish.
Forced and awkward.
Yeah.
Which culminates in her asking him to go out to lunch.
Yeah. really quickly.
You just thought this guy was assaulting somebody in the laundry room, and now you want to go to lunch.
But here's the other caveat to this too. If Bob and Cindy both work away from the home,
yeah,
why
would she show up?
Would Marcy just walk in to their house, be like looking for Cindy in the middle of a day when the kids are at school? Like, none of that makes sense. Like, Marcy doesn't add anything to this movie.
Well, you know what? I hadn't even thought about that, but that brings up a whole new line of reasoning.
Plot hole.
Why would she have been there on a work day?
Right.
Kids are at school, which means it's a Monday through Friday.
Now, granted, she could have seen this like car that she didn't recognize in the driveway, and she was using like Cindy as a front and being like, "Cindy, I'm here. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah,
as a front to be the nosy neighbor.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't know that anybody would be home.
Exactly.
Why is she just letting herself in the house?
So she walks in and says, "Cindy," but you know Cindy's gone. Cindy's at work.
It's almost like she was saying that just to hear if Cindy called back, and if she didn't, she was just going to go start snooping.
Right.
I wonder if there's like missing underwear from drawers. I wonder. I mean,
Marcy.
The thing is, given how they really do present her like a lunatic.
Yeah, she's creepy.
This is kind of where those missing pages may have gone.
Uh-huh.
There might be some really fucked up shit Marcy was into.
I would
in their house.
Love to see those missing pages and read through them. I would love to see this thing as a 3-hour script and read it.
I would, because there had to have been a reason. I was bothered by Marcy, but the more we're talking about this,
the more bothered I get.
The more bothered I am by it.
I want to move on. I don't want to give her the time of day.
All right, let's do it. All right, so after the weirdness with Marcy and a dog maybe or maybe not licking her butthole,
that's what I think happened.
I'm pretty sure it did too.
Yeah.
Buck's taking the kids bowling. Tia initially does not want to go, and Buck's question her is, why'd you waste all that makeup? We're just going bowling. And she's like, she says she isn't going to go, but Buck's like, bowling's a great activity.
He's fighting fire with fire.
Come on, it's a great sport, and it's virtually impossible to get pregnant while doing it, if you catch my drift.
There's a part right before that happens where she's just like looking out the window, and this
oh yeah, what
Miles says, "Are you waiting for your sex?"
Right.
And I had forgot that he said that because it had been a while since I'd watched this movie.
Oh my
and I had to
God.
go back, and I 3 different times went back the 15-second bounce back button on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did he just say what I thought he said?
Right. No.
And yeah, he did.
Now, whenever I watch these movies, I watch them with the captions on.
Uh-huh.
Just to like get that. Like,
yeah, make sure you get all the dialogue.
Right. They're
Yeah.
movies that I've seen before, but I want to make sure that I'm seeing the words that they're saying. And even this one, I had to go back and be like, wait a minute. Did he really just say waiting for your sex?
Right. I watched it with the subtitles too, and that line was like on screen for a nanosecond.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Holy cow, it was so good. Are you waiting for your sex?
Anyway, so no matter, regardless of how little Tia wants to go bowling, Buck is pretty insistent, and she battles as much as she wants, but Buck's like, we've done this battle of wheels before. I'm gonna win, and here's the deal.
How'd you like to spend the next several nights wondering if your crazy, out-of-work bum uncle will shave your head while you sleep?
I actually wrote that entire quote down because I just wanted to make sure we touched on it because that was fucking priceless.
So she goes bowling.
She does. She goes.
And, Buck again has this magic with kids because he's up at the line with Miles and Maisie, showing them how to bowl. And Maisie pushes just the slowest ball imaginable down the line. And there's this great line where he's like, Maisie, if the goal of the game was to get the ball as close as you could to the pins and not knock any over, you would win. And she just loved it.
And she's like, really?
She lit up.
Yeah, she just lit up. Uh-huh.
She sure did.
But while this is going on, one of the denizens of the bowling alley are cozying up to Tia, a guy named Pal.
Pal with the toothpick.
Yeah.
We all know the toothpick guy.
When he chokes on the toothpick.
Oh, and this is, again, one of those things. I remember this part, remember the scene, but there were details I caught this time that I never caught when I watched it in previous viewings. In particular, you see him flip the toothpick in his mouth, and he's got just this cut up, scarred lip where you can tell he has jabbed himself multiple times.
Well, and he's got a black eye, and he's got a busted lip. And he's trying to come on to Tia.
And he thinks that she must be a college girl and probably a cheerleader because you're firm.
Mm-hmm.
You like all-terrain vehicles? I got a brand new Bronco right out in the parking lot. Red. Want to go for a ride?
That fucking creeper. God, and when, okay, so we're talking about a Ford Bronco.
Yeah.
Has anybody you've known ever, when you think ATV, all-terrain vehicle, what do you think?
Four-wheeler. Three-wheeler.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, but back in the day, they used to call them all-terrain vehicles.
I mean, because that was pre-SUV as the nomenclature.
Right. So now a Bronco is an SUV.
I would think so.
Or they used to call them ORVs, off-road vehicles. Yeah, there was a lot of weird terms because it was a new genre. You know,
I got to ask a question here. If you were the Ford Motor Company and you watched this movie,
I wouldn't be happy
about it. How would you
it.
feel
about that product placement?
Well, because Ford Bronco is 2 times in this movie.
It is.
For the first time, we get Creeper Pal talking about his hot red Bronco, but then Shanice drives one later.
It's blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you okay with the wash between the okay and the negative, or are you going to be calling John Hughes with some pointed questions?
I don't like the way you depict my Bronco.
Well,
it's a Predator mobile.
Maybe they were trying to increase the purchasing market from scumbags.
Well, hey, wait a minute, Brian. Doesn't your wife drive a Bronco?
It's not red.
It's the new Bronco as well, which is not the same as the classic.
There's a very big difference between old Bronco.
Honestly, anything you really, really can draw the line in the sand with the Bronco pre and post O.J. Simpson.
Correct. Yeah.
Because pre O.J. Simpson, the Bronco was a cool off-road vehicle. Yep. After that, it was basically just a murder mobile. And now it's been, really, it had to go off the market for at least 10, 20 years before it could come back as being, it's a cool throwback.
Right.
We're neat again.
Yeah. This is a few years pre-OJ, though.
If it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
In your driveway.
While we're still here at the bowling alley, Buck
sees
Pal trying to put the moves on Tia, and he comes up and basically tells Pal, "Why don't you go the fuck on your merry way?"
Right,
but much more politely. And so Pal leaves, but as soon as Pal scurries off like a little rat, another character comes in, Raj, and Raj is been looking for Buck.
Yeah, where you been, Buck?
Yeah, I've been checking trunks for your dead body. And so, but he's got some business and he wants to talk to Buck about.
Jimmy Bean called.
Oh, yeah?
He's coming in for the Winter Million at Burlington Park on Friday. He says it's a boat race, very easy money. He owes you and he owes me. So he says we should show up an hour before post time and he'll give us the tip. Consider this, Buck. With this score, your whole year's covered. Huh?
Maybe I can make it work.
I'll see you Friday night.
Tia overhears part of the conversation between Raj and Buck, and it's particularly related to Shanice. And, this definitely has piqued her interest.
Now she knows Buck has a girlfriend.
And she straight up asks Buck about Shanice.
What's a Shanice?
What's a Shanice?
That's someone who's sometimes seen around the bus.
Your girlfriend?
A friend. And yes, she is a girl.
Are you supposed to marry her or something?
The subject has come up, yes, but nothing serious.
Maybe if you got married, you'd stop being such an asshole.
Clearly, Tia knows nothing about marriage, because I know plenty of married people married men who are still assholes.
Oh, yeah. None of us, though.
No, we're all awesome. We are good guys.
We are good guys.
I've known
regular guys.
I've known some guys who started off as assholes and became bigger assholes after they got married.
Right.
She knows nothing.
No.
Nope.
But she's trying to put some pieces together to use as ammo.
Uh-huh. She sees an opportunity.
Yeah, you can tell she's using that information. I don't know.
Oh, she up to something.
She plotting.
Mm-hmm. Trying to put some pieces together.
And then we'll get into that.
Because it'll happen.
Yep. Before we move on, let's do a little beer talk.
Ooh, beer talk.
Yes.
Because we've now opened up beer number 3.
Beer number 3. Let me take a nice long pull.
This is one of my favorite beers of all time.
Uh-huh, I'm with you.
It's nothing fancy.
Nope.
But darn, it's good.
Yep.
This is, I mean, as far as beers go, this is such a good, long-time, dear friend of mine. Moose Drool.
From Big Sky Brewing.
It's solid.
Do you know why they call it Moose Drool?
No.
So Big Sky Brewing, they commission an artist to do wildlife paintings for all their beer artwork. And they knew they wanted something with a moose. And so when the guy painted the moose with water coming out of its mouth, they're like, that looks like drool. So they named the beer Moose Drool.
Good deal.
And that's where it came from.
I like that.
But no, I mean, it is you know, it's nothing fancy, but it's just it's just refreshing, and it's just like just hanging out with a good buddy.
It's a solid beer.
Yeah,
it really is.
Good flavor, and like you said, it's refreshing.
And it's hard to find a bad brown ale.
And I love the fact that it's only 5% alcohol by volume.
So it's sessionable.
It is sessionable.
Hey, Seth.
Yeah.
What do you think about sessionable beers?
Sessionable ales? I like sessionable beers.
Do you?
I do.
Does that term piss you off?
So one of my favorite things about this beer is, from Big Sky Brewing, they have a tagline, and it's on the can, and I love it. It says, "We make water fun."
Ooh, I like that.
And this beer is fun.
It is.
I agree with them.
Yep.
Way to go, Big Sky.
But no, it's a good brown ale. This is a good after mowing the lawn beer.
Yep.
This is a great just chilling in the pool beer.
And even though it's brown, it's an all year round.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, it rhymed too.
How about that?
You're a poet and didn't know it.
Oh, look at these long fellows.
Well, let's move on with the plot. It's Miles's birthday.
It is an iconic scene of the movie coming up.
You know, Mom and Dad still aren't back, still off with Grandpa, but Buck makes it a special day, and he starts off with breakfast.
Yep.
Where we see him making just the hugest damn pancakes imaginable.
All right, funny thing. Doing some research, that was a real pancake.
Was it?
The props department created a griddle big enough to be able to make real pancakes.
Okay. So, go ahead.
So here's the pancake scene is awesome.
Yeah.
The giant pancake scene is great. But okay, so you said the prop department made this possible.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Uncle Buck
and that's
come
what
up
I was
with
about
this?
to ask too.
Like, what are you cooking this on?
No one has a cooktop big enough for that in their kitchen. That your normal stove isn't going to handle that thing.
You are absolutely correct. This is a magical movie moment.
Even a Blackstone.
And even the shovel that he uses. I've never seen a shovel look quite like that.
Again, prop department.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't care.
So
I love this moment.
Yep. This is a suspension of disbelief.
Yep. And I will willfully suspend said disbelief.
For sure.
I hope you're hungry. You should see that toast. I couldn't even get it through the door.
And the best part of this is Miles's face when he sees this giant the stack of pancakes, and this huge pat of butter on top. It had to have been like 6 pounds of butter.
Oh, yeah.
Just sitting on top. The joy that he shows with his wide open, gazing smile. It melts your heart.
It's a sweet moment.
You know, Mom and Dad are gone, and Uncle Buck made his birthday memorable.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
But not as memorable as I would think in terms of, long-term consequences and possibly therapy conversations as what will follow in his birthday celebration. Because later, the very next scene we get, apparently Miles has some friends over for his birthday, and this looks like the most deadest birthday party ever.
Yep.
They're all just lying around the couch, not talking. Look like they just want to, it's like on the verge of ritual suicide. A giant mouse car pulls up.
Enter Pooter the clown.
This was another scene that I think could have been deleted.
I
think with the pancake, that was enough.
It was covered.
For the birthday.
It was covered.
Yeah.
But because I also have some issues with what's about to happen. The clown shows up drunk as a goddamn skunk.
What did you have, a few drinks this morning? Huh? I think you did, didn't you? What are you, Mother Cabrini? You never touch this stuff? No, but I wouldn't be drinking if I was going to entertain some kids. Hey, I don't have to take any shit from you. You know I am? In the field of local live home entertainment, I'm a god!
That's a god.
Get in your mouse.
Yeah.
And get out of here.
Pooter the clown.
Hey, you, let me tell you something, you low-life, lying, four-flushing sack of shit.
And Buck punches him.
Right in the clown nose.
And punches him again. I don't know. I assume the laws in Shermer, Illinois must be roughly the same laws as they are here, but I'm pretty sure that's assault.
Yeah, but I'm not sure the clown is going to call him on it because he's driving drunk.
He just drove.
Well, that's
over.
true.
He's got a little bit of clout to say, hey, you tell on me, I tell on you, brother.
Yeah, maybe.
Honk that nose and get out of town.
We're not giving any time to process the ramifications, legal or moral or ethical or otherwise, because we move on.
We do?
Buck is off with Maisie and Miles in the car, and they're driving around. And
they're headed to go get some ice cream.
Well,
yeah.
But they're driving through the woods, and Maisie and Miles want to know why. And Buck explains to him, "We're looking for your sister."
I don't get where we're going.
I told you 25 times we're going to pick up Tia.
She's at a cheerleader's house having dinner.
Well, so she says.
Since when do cheerleaders live in the woods?
Buck's not stupid.
Nope.
He knows Tia is not where she says she is.
Yep. He can read Tia like a book.
Yeah, because he's been there. He's done these things. He knows what the playbook is. He knows what the predator young mind is doing. And I don't know is how Buck knows where to look.
Yeah.
But he does.
But what we also know is kind of following the same suit as every other 80s movie. Bug's a little rapey.
Oh, super rapey. Because he was trying to pressure Tia to go back to his car. To do it.
The deed.
Yep, but she's not interested, but he's still putting the pressure on. He says, well, I'll just take you home then. She's like, well, I don't want to go home. And then starts to capitulate, and she's like, okay. And just as they're getting ready to go to his car, they stop because they hear the backfire.
Yep.
And they both know what that means.
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck is there.
And I absolutely love this scene.
I do too.
This is one of my favorites from this entire movie.
Buck goes up to talk to Tia and Bug. And this is one of those iconic moments, as far as I'm concerned, in all cinema.
You know what a hatchet is, don't you, Bug?
It's an axe?
Sort of, yeah. I got one in the car if you'd like to see it.
A pass.
Fair enough. I like to carry it, you know. You never know when you're going to need it. A situation may come up, say, for example, someone's been drinking and about to drive a loved one home. Then I like to know I have it. Not to kill, no. Just to maim. Take a little off the shoulder, the elbow, shave a little meat off the old kneecap. Ooh. You got both kneecaps? I like to keep mine razor sharp, too. Sharp enough you can shave with them. Why, I've been known to circumcise a gnat. You're not a gnat, are you, Bug? Wait a minute. Bug? Gnat? Is there a little similarity there?
This moment, I think, is John Candy at his finest.
For sure.
But there's also then nitpick me. Why would he have a hatchet in his trunk? And how much time did how premeditated was this whole confrontation? Did he put the hatchet in his trunk? Did he kind of work this lines out in his head? Because it's very well composed, his whole spiel.
Well, we don't really know a whole lot about Buck.
Yeah.
And what he's done.
Do you think maybe he does a lot of axe throwing on the weekends?
I think maybe.
I bet he would be into it.
With all the gambling and maybe Buck's into some darker shit that we just don't really know about.
Well, I'm sure in that world there are some rough people.
Yeah. Like, why not have an axe in your trunk?
Hey, why not? You never know.
You never know.
I like to think that he was thinking on the way there, okay, what do I have in my trunk?
Yeah, there you go.
What could I talk about?
What
could I use as a prop?
What's scary to a 15, 16-year-old?
Because honestly, what sells this moment is actually what comes after that clip, where he walks off and Tia tells Buck he's just bluffing. And then Buck goes to the trunk
and pulls out the hatchet.
A hatchet.
And it's just shining in the moonlight.
Yep. So yeah, I like to think that he was thinking about, okay, what can I use here? What do I have?
Yeah.
And that's how he came up with it.
I mean, it's Uncle Buck, right? Like, you never know when you're just going to be camping underneath an overpass when you're Uncle Buck. Right.
Yeah.
So
and driving that piece of shit car, he probably does need to be prepared to survive in any circumstance. 'Cause that car only has a limited miles left on it.
Yeah, and as we find out, he has more than just a hatchet in the trunk.
He's got quite a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Tia's gonna leave, but before she does, really genuinely to spite Buck, she and Bug just start smooching.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty stupid thing to do during flu season.
I bet she's getting a tongue.
These dang kids, they just kept delivering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were
So
just
many
so
line
good.
after line.
Over and over.
Let's move on though to the next scene, which is another one that is chock full of great John Candiness.
This is my defining moment of the movie.
All right.
So because mom and dad are still out of town, Buck has to be surrogate for a meeting with the vice principal at Maisie's school. And we actually start things off outside the school where we see Buck pulling up in his piece of shit car, doesn't park in a parking lot.
No, he pulls up
He
right
pulls
to
up,
the front
hops
door.
the sidewalk, and pulls up literally right up to the front door.
Uh-huh.
Enters, he's walking down the hall, still smoking a cigar in a public school.
Yeah.
I think that was probably
funny.
one of my favorite parts was when he realized
oh shit
that he was
I'm
smoking a
in the
cigar in the
school.
school.
He comes to realize it, and so he goes into the boys' room to put the cigar out. And initially he's going to just toss it in the toilet, but apparently the stalls are all in use.
Occupado.
And so he just puts it out into the sink. And I guess while he's in there, he's like, I guess I should drain the snake. And he looks, and the urinals are all down to the floor.
It's an elementary school.
and
Uncle
John Candy, a very big man.
He's a large man, yeah.
Has to work his way down to use the little itty bitty boy's urinal.
He's like kneeling.
Yeah.
Take a knee.
Right? Now, when I watched this movie the second time last night with my wife, she took issue with this scene because she thought it was inappropriate for a grown man to be whipping out his ding dong in a room that had had children in it. Felt like maybe that would be a little bit pervy.
Well,
Or it could be at least construed as pervy.
I think anytime you're in a bathroom in a public place, you run that risk.
I mean, that's the risk every time we use
it's not like there were other bathrooms he could use.
Exactly.
I mean, there may have been, but it's not like he's going to go search through the school for the teacher's bathroom.
Right. I'm sure there's a bathroom in the teacher's lounge, but it's not like he has privy access to that area.
I mean, if you go to, the St. Louis Cardinals game and you go to the bathroom, there's going to be kids in there and you're going to whip it out and pee. If you go to, your daughter's gymnastics.
Yeah.
Like, and you got to go to the bathroom. There might be kids in there.
It's not like you're someone who...
The movie theater.
Well, it's not like you're someone I know who would go into the Casino Queen bathroom and pull his pants all the way down to the floor.
Oh, my goodness.
Bare ass cheek out to the wind.
Yeah, in a public restroom?
In a public restroom.
Who the heck?
Man, who would do that ever?
Guilty. But I have to ask.
You were very drunk that night.
Was it fucking hilarious or
it
not?
Was, absolutely was.
Okay,
it was
so,
great.
So 2 things here. One, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And 2, you're in a place where it's adults only.
Right. It's a casino.
Yeah. Right.
And 3,
there should be no kindergartners there.
And 3, how about that look on that little Asian guy's face?
Dude, there are no chicks in here tonight.
Anyway, so once Buck makes his exit from the bathroom, heads down to meet the vice principal. Vice principals in most schools, they're the disciplinarians.
Yep.
They're the people you go sent to get the law laid down. And back in the 80s, they were the ones that beat you.
Did the paddling.
80s and prior, up until the soft ass 90s kicked in, and suddenly we couldn't whip kids anymore.
Right.
Just kidding. I think it was a terrible idea for teachers to ever whip kids. But
no, bring it back.
Only if they deserve it.
I think it'd be good for kids.
So Buck goes in and he talks to the vice principal, who is just
She reminded me of Ballbreaker from Porky's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Trunchbull from Matilda.
Right.
Just not as muscular.
Mm-hmm.
But with the addition of a giant wart on her face.
Yep.
And which causes Buck to have all manner of slip-ups.
Wordplay.
Yep.
Mrs. Melanoma.
And I'm Uncle Melanoma. I'm her wart.
I'm Uncle Wart.
Yeah.
I'm Uncle Wart Melanoma. Melanoma head, Wart, Uncle.
All kinds of Freudian slips.
Yep.
But yeah, this lady. Oh, and I took issue with this too.
Mm-hmm.
She called Maisie, sweet, adorable Maisie, a bad egg.
She is a twiddler, a dreamer, a silly heart. She is a jabberbox. And frankly, I don't think she takes a thing in her life or her career as a student seriously.
Yeah, I wanted to fight her.
Those are all the things a kid that age should be.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Buck tears into her.
Oh, he calls her out on it, and I love it.
I don't even want to know a 6-year-old who's not a silly heart. I don't ever want to meet a 6-year-old who takes their academic career seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And then the best part of it all.
Take this quarter. Go downtown and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face.
I love it.
My favorite part is at the very end where he says that, and then as nice as he can be, he says, "Good day, ma'am."
I love it. But what was the quarter for? Was it like the bus ride?
I think the bus ride.
Yeah, bus fare.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was kind of one of those things where it was like not universally known. So like, what's the quarter for? Like, he could have just said, "Go downtown, never rat gnaw that thing off your face." Like, so like it just seemed like, here's a quarter. What's the quarter for, man? Like,
and there's a few additional things to this that weren't necessary, but they elevated just a little bit more. Number one, You had the kid's face out in the waiting lobby area.
Just loving it.
Listening to this and just loving every bit of it.
Yeah, he was eating it up.
Next, you had Buck, after this, walking down the hallway and almost having that celebratory dance to himself right as Wild Thing, or is it Wild Thing?
Yeah.
Wild Thing. Yep. Just as it kicks back on. And then once he gets outside, we only see it in silhouette, but we see him light a cigar back up, walk one way, realize he went the wrong way, and then walk the other.
Right.
And those didn't need to be there. They didn't advance the story, but they just made it feel so much even better.
They made it feel awesome. And like I said, to me, this was the most memorable part of the movie for me.
It's like the one thing you absolutely will remember from this movie.
Oh, yeah. You know how many times my wife and I will secretly talk to each other? And we'll say, Mrs. Melanoma, or, go downtown and have a rat and all that thing off your face. I mean, it just kind of comes up in conversation sometimes. It became part of our pop culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So after this, we get a scene in which Shanice is checking her messages. And there's a message from Buck.
A sweet message.
Yeah. And one of the things he talks about is, I've been thinking a lot about the things we've been talking about, and I miss you. And, kind of lays it on nice and thick, but there's some nice little moments in there.
Yeah.
And in particular, he's talking about her dimples on her butt and other things.
The names of her boobs.
Little dimples on your butts.
Dimples.
What do we call them? One was on the right was Lyndon and the left was Johnson, I think. No, that was your boobs. We did. Oh, your boobs were Minnie and Mickey. I remember that because of Disney World. And Felix. Felix is what we called your...
That was just a good edit.
And a cat that
they
didn't even own.
One of those other moments that just kind of gravy on top. He's out picking up a cat. He comes in, it's like, who let the cat out? And all the kids are like, we don't even have a cat. And he goes out to get rid of the cat, and then Miles locks him outside.
Right.
And it's just didn't need it, but it was just added more.
It did. It was
one of those scenes.
It was a good touch.
And there were many scenes that weren't needed, but some were fun, and some were just head scratchers.
Yeah.
But the ones that were good were really good.
They were. Yeah, definitely. Oh, I almost said the A word.
Oh.
But I said definitely instead.
I don't even know what my count is on the absolutely
32.
It's probably close.
I
wouldn't be shocked.
I mean, I've been drinking every time you did, and I am hammered drunk right now.
All right. Yeah. So Shanice calls Buck back, and Tia answers.
Uh-oh.
Tells her that Buck's not home.
Where is he?
Well, he's out with Marcy.
Who's that?
The neighbor lady.
Right.
They stay out real late.
Oh, that Tia.
Yeah.
She's lying when she says it.
Oh, every bit of it. Other than the fact they have a neighbor named Marcy, every bit of it's a goddamn lie.
Yeah.
And then, just, of course, as things lay out, next day, Buck's doing his laundry in his own buckish way.
Right.
He's got clothes hanging from the ceiling fan, blowing along the room while a hairdryer strapped somehow to a cabinet door is blowing.
It's like a wire hanger.
Yeah. he's got clothes in the oven. He's got clothes in the microwave.
Clothes in the sink.
He's washing clothes in the sink.
Yep.
And Marcy shows up.
Fucking weirdo Marcy.
Yeah, super weird again. And, tells her, wants to know what Buck is doing.
You don't know what you're doing. You're bored out of your mind. You need a little adult supervision.
And so then she puts on some records and insists they dance.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when she said it, could have been hot.
Yeah, it could have been.
But she's just
if she would have been like, you're bored out of your mind and you need some adult supervision.
Right, but she's so fucking creepy.
Yeah, she's
like,
well,
that was kind of
adult supervision.
I think Seth's version was kind of creepy as well.
Well, yeah, because that's him talking to me and you.
Yeah, I think the less creepy version is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, there's middle ground.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not a provocateur, Brian.
No, you do give good voice, so.
Anyway, and then, of course, why wouldn't this happen? While Buck and...
why they're dancing.
Buck and Marcy are dancing, and we get so this is where again the camera work is so fucking weird. The fish angle lens,
super weird.
The bizarreness of Marcy's actions, her mannerisms, her face. It really looks like she just escaped from an insane asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why is she wearing riding pants and riding boots? Did she just come back from the horse track? I mean, is she a jockey? Is that her story? Is she for like a jockey from another country?
She's, I mean, just crazy. Yeah. She's insane.
Well, she's insane. But Shanice shows up.
Hi, Shanice. Surprise. This is,
Marcy.
Yeah, Marcy. And, she lives across the road. And she came over to,
Shut up, Buck.
That's a good idea.
And she's crazy as fuck.
That's a good idea, he says.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this, though, is whenever Shanice left.
Mm-hmm.
As she's walking away, she takes her purse and just smashes the fuck out of Buck's car.
And it doesn't do a thing.
No.
Nothing.
It might have improved it.
It might have.
And she drives off, and he's like, I love you.
Could have knocked out a dent.
And so she's gone. Tia asked Buck, since Grandpa is doing better, would it be okay if I go out tomorrow night? And Buck says, not while I'm here. And she wants to know why can't he just be more cool?
You just can't find any way to be cool, can you?
You mean easy? No.
I mean decent.
You mean blind?
Who are you trying to score points with? My parents? How many times have they had you here since we moved? Try none until they went up shit creek and got stuck.
Get used on your parents' time.
Hey, Buck.
Yeah.
Have a bad day today? It hurts when someone screws with your life, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Tia's a real big bitch.
Tia.
Well, I don't understand why she just told on herself there.
Oh, yeah. She ratted herself out.
She did.
Because she thinks she's won.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's already got this plan cocked up in her mind that she's going to do what she wants anyway. She's burned Buck, and that she's going to just do what she wants. And she's kind of being a petulant bee.
Yep, sure is.
You know what I like about this, though, too, though, is like, so he's got all this animosity going on with Tia. But my favorite thing is the two smaller kids. They have a nickname for him now, and it's UB.
U.B. U.B.
And I love it because they've given him
a nickname.
Mm-hmm. They love Uncle Buck, and he's now UB.
Yeah, it's sweet.
My other favorite thing is he had a really bad day.
He did.
And Tia may have just ruined his relationship life.
Yeah.
But he interacts with those other kids like none of that ever happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, he realizes it's not their fault, not their problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good guy.
Yeah.
He also has some great interactions with the dog.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
He's down on the couch, having a beer, shares a bit with the puppo.
Mm-hmm.
And while this is going on, he's having a bit of a come to Jesus moment for himself.
Right. He said something really poignant.
Because he's talking about, people used to tell me, man, you're so lucky, Buck. You're enjoying life without a wife, without a kids. You have your freedom. You have all these things. And life is great. And then there's a beat. And he's like, no one tells me that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's where it really hits him. It's like he is lonely.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He's kind of turning that corner at this point.
Yeah, I think he's realizing he's been fooling himself.
Yeah.
And he's realizing that, especially since this exposure with the I'm going to rephrase that because that just sounded bad.
Exposure with the kids.
What's he exposing, Seth?
His wiener
to the
kids. Especially since he's spent time around these kids and has realized that, man, kids can actually be really kind of lovable.
Spent quality time. I mean, good exposure.
Yeah. That maybe, just maybe, this family thing might not be that bad.
Right.
And that's a big step for him.
That is a big step for him. He's growing up right before our eyes.
In the morning, though, Tia leaves with Bug. She tells Miles and Maisie to tell Buck that he lost. And she'll see them on Sunday. Miles like, well, what day is it now? And it's Friday.
Ooh, it's the day that he should be going to the track.
Yeah, there's that. There's that.
Yeah.
But the fact that Tia is basically planning to peace out from Friday to Sunday without permission. And, yeah, kind of a dick move.
Right.
So Buck doesn't know anything about this, and he goes to pick Tia up after school, finds out that Tia has blown him off and isn't there to watch the kids, so he can't go to the thing he needed to go to.
The track with the insider information to make money for the whole year.
And the kids basically tell him that, she said that she wasn't coming back till Sunday, and Buck's like, she was supposed to be here to watch you guys. I hate to do it, but you got to come with me. And so he's loading up the kids with full intent to take them to the horse track.
Right.
Which I've been to the horse track enough time. There's kids there. It's not necessarily a bad place.
No, not so much. But maybe in 1989 in Chicago, it might be a little different.
Might be.
Yeah.
So ultimately, though, as he's initially talking about, this is what she brought on herself, and it's really kind of cussing Tia out under his breath. But as Buck gets into the car, he takes a look at the kids, and he realizes that he can't do it.
Right. Not the right thing to do.
And so he needs to find Tia, but needs help.
So this is really, he's been turning a corner gradually. But this is the moment where it's like, okay, you're really turning this corner.
This is where I think it all paid off.
Yeah, he's like, I care about these kids, and I care about, I can't do the same stupid bullshit that I've been doing for the last, I don't know how many years. I don't know how old he is in this movie, but still, he came to that realization of, I need to be better.
This is where the Grinch's heart grew 3 times.
Busted out.
Yep. Ripped out of his chest.
Thing. Yeah.
That happened. So he realizes he's got to go find Tia, but he needs someone to help and watch the kids. And so he reaches out to the only person he can really trust with that kind of task. He could call Marcy across the street.
Don't do that.
But he decides to give someone else a call.
She's 15. She's angry. She's confused. And I need to find her. Can you help me? I'm really stuck, Shanice.
All right. I will help you because there's kids involved in this. But as far as you and I are concerned, it is over.
However it has to be.
I'll be there.
Thank you. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
And even just the end of that conversation, if that's how it has to be, he is putting
the kids first,
first, which is something he has never done before.
Right. And why would he? Because she was such a bitch to him.
Yeah.
This was a real epiphany moment.
But that's love. He loves her.
She's family.
Yeah. And so he's going to make that sacrifice. He's going to do things, even if it means being the end of Shanice. He'll run that risk because he knows that he can trust Shanice. He knows that he needs to save Tia. And so he goes off to do that.
Is it love?
Is what love?
Saving Tia. Is it love or is it fear? Fear of Bob and Cindy.
I mean, it could be both, but I genuinely think
Tia is not giving him any reason to love her whatsoever.
But I think he understands her more than she understands herself.
That doesn't mean he's not also potentially afraid of having to break to Bob and Cindy that their oldest daughter has disappeared and might potentially be murdered, raped, or dismembered.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he could also still love her.
So it's funny that you said that, because later down in my notes, I said Tia may have more in common with Buck than she thinks. But now you guys have reversed this back on me, and maybe now I could reverse that and say Buck may have more in common with Tia than he thinks.
The difference is Buck has a life experience to recognize the similarity.
Right.
So you guys have changed my opinion a little bit here. That's fine. Whatever. Fuck you guys.
All right. So Buck is on the hunt, and he's out to find the party. While this is all going on, Shanice shows up to the house. This does give me a bit of a pause, though, because that means that there was at least a interval of time
where the kids were there by themselves. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing happened.
Which obviously he told him, hey, you keep this door shut. You keep it locked. You stay in here. She's on her way. I've got to go save your sister. And that's why we got that interaction
through the
mail slot. Yeah.
Yeah. So Miles basically gives Shanice the 20 questions through the mail slot, and he needs her to pull out her driver's license and show it. And it's a whole thing. Shanice is now there to watch the kids. Buck makes his way to the party and is working his way through, and he's like, oh, anyone seen Bug? And he's just mingled through, and this house is packed.
House party.
Yeah, somebody steals his hat.
He steals a different hat.
Steals a different hat. It's a beer. He's
all of a sudden he has a beer.
Yeah,
like
and
he's kind of having a good time.
And no one seems to be that freaked out that a 40-year-old man is just walking through this party.
Right.
Looking for Bug.
Yeah.
Looking for Bug. Anybody know Bug?
Everybody
find
knows
Bug.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Everybody knows a cool guy. Where's Bug?
Buck works his way upstairs, and through all this going on, we get this interspersed shots, this is interspersed with shots of Bug in a bedroom with a lady who we're assuming is Tia.
Right.
And he's being a little bit pushy.
So you remember earlier when I said that Bug was a little rapey? I lied.
Yeah.
He's very rapey.
Yeah. He is laying it on and holding this girl down.
Not allowing her to say no.
Right. Like he
not listening.
Pushed her wrist down against the bed and like held it there. And I was like, oh, damn, dude.
And while there's no nudity or anything here, it's definitely working to that point.
Right.
When the door knocks. And Bug's like, room's taken.
Seat's taken.
And then the door knocks again. He's like, if you come in here, I'm going to kick your ass. And then all of a sudden we hear the sound of a power drill. Where did the power drill come from? I don't know.
The trench coat.
Well, it's kind of like Silent Bob. He just has gadgets. Inside the trench coat.
Also, I'm curious what and this is just a complete ignorance on the topic from my part because I wasn't buying said things in 1980, whatever. Cordless drills at this point.
They didn't have them.
I mean, I think they had them, but they weren't very good.
I don't think they had them.
I don't know. That takes a little bit of research, and I did not do that.
I think that sucker would have had to been plugged in.
Yeah, maybe. I'm like, I know.
Maybe he found a wall outlet in the hallway.
It was a big damn bit, though.
Yeah.
And I'm sure drilling. I've had to drill through a lock before. It takes a little while.
Yeah, I've never had to do that.
When I had my own Uncle Buckish moment when I was a new dad.
Yeah.
I went to take some. It was me and my daughter, and at this point, she was not even 1 year old. We were the only ones in the house. I had to take something to recycling. Just tossing some stuff in the recycling bin, which is in our garage, and I just by habit, as I was walking through the garage door, I flipped the lock on the inside of that door as I walked through and pulled it shut. And almost as soon as I did, I'm like, fuck.
Oh no.
My less than 1 year old daughter was in the house by herself. I was locked into the garage. Didn't have my keys.
Oh no.
Didn't have my cell phone. I did have access though to my power drill.
There you go.
So I drilled through the lock, and it took a little while.
Yeah.
And it definitely jacked up the bit that I had that I used on it, but I got through it. And then had to take a hammer, knock the core out, and then I was in the house again.
Wow.
And then immediately got my less than 1 year old, and immediately went straight to Home Depot to buy a new lock.
Right.
But yeah, it can be done. It's not something that's going to take a few seconds, and it's not something that a low power drill is going to be able to do easily.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, this is kind of movie magic.
Sure.
Again.
Yeah. A little cheese.
Yeah.
A little cheese.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But once the doorknob is drilled out, the door gets kicked open, revealing Buck.
Uncle Buck.
Standing there, drill and massive drill bit attached in hand. Flips on the light. And who do we see in bed?
Not Tia.
Not Tia.
You know,
we do see a girl who seems to be rather relieved that someone just walked in.
Right.
I think a man of Buck's size could have just kicked that door in and had the hatchet from the trunk from earlier, and it would have made a whole lot more sense.
It would have, because let's just break this down. Most likely, it's an interior bedroom door that's a hollow core.
Mm-hmm.
Not that strong.
Right.
A grown man with a decent sized kick, or at least even just a running start and a shoulder, would take that down.
I've kicked a door in.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom locked herself in her bedroom whenever she was renovating her house. And that was a solid core door. And I was able to kick through it. And it was fun to do.
And beyond that, really comes much more down to the door jamb. How thick this door jamb is, and how long of screws they use to put that little metal slippy thingy on there.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever try to get into a bedroom door lock before?
Yeah.
With like the little thing you could just
it's
put
not
in
hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like
all you need is a little.
All you need is a smooth rod of anything.
Like a tiny screwdriver.
Right.
Uh-huh.
You don't need to drill that thing out. Although it added to the, I don't know.
It was the dramatic effect.
It was a dramatic effect,
but ultimately we find out, though, is what it comes down to. Bug is not only a piece of shit, he's a cheating piece of shit.
Oh,
because
yeah, he's
he's now gone from being rapey to Tia to being more rapey to with some other girl.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And Buck, on one hand, is like, he comes in, there's a sense of relief that it's not Tia. But then there's a sense of payback for Tia.
Right.
And we cut from here. And we see Tia now walking down the road. Walking on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Buck pulling up, and she definitely hears Buck coming.
Oh, you can hear that car from 3 blocks over.
Yeah. And, he rolls down, has the window down, and she doesn't even give him much of a look and keeps on walking. And so he pulls up a little bit more and then pulls the car over and gets out, and he calls out to her, and she stops. And, she immediately kind of breaks down and lets him know that she might have been in the wrong.
You were right. Everything you said would happen happened.
I don't want to talk about it. I just want to get you home.
Hearing that voice just by itself,
mm-hmm.
that really did sound like Jeannie Bueller.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or Baby Houseman, which again is the same person as Jeannie Bueller.
Sure.
But yeah. So regardless, she is
admitted defeat.
Yeah. And maybe I'm not as smart about the world as I thought I was. But there is a really huge 180 here. Just because Buck might have been right about this, it seems like a big turn in character that she seems very on board with Buck overall.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a stark contrast to where she's been in their relationship. And now, all of a sudden, because Bug was a jerk, all is forgiven with Buck. And she's in Buck's camp. You were right all the time. You're awesome.
It's a little tenuous.
Mm-hmm. Like, she knew Bug was a jerk in the beginning.
Right.
Like, she knew that. Like, come on.
She was just doing it to try and be an adult.
Right.
To do adult things.
Tia asked him, like, so do you know what happened with Bug? And he's like, yeah. And then she's like, what did you do to him? And then the next thing we see is Bug in the trunk of Buck's car.
Mm-hmm.
You shithead! I'm gonna suffocate in here! You know what I'd like you to do? Actually, could be doing both of us a favor. I'd like you to apologize to the lady, please. I'm sorry! I'm sorry! Okay, asshole! I'm
smart.
sorry! I don't know if I told you this or not, but I'm an amateur dentist.
Oh, yes, he is.
And this look that Tia gives while holding the drill and laughing is just over the top.
Yeah, she's trying to be Buck.
Get him out of
Yeah.
there.
Yeah? It was half-hearted. We'll let him. Come on, here we go.
I'm really sorry.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are.
I am.
Here, let me just get you. There you go,
I didn't
buddy.
mean
There you
to
go.
hurt anybody.
There you go. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
Now,
this is 10 minutes that we could have got rid of.
yeah, because let's also just call it what it is.
Kidnapping?
This is kidnapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then followed by assault.
Yeah.
This is another scene that didn't need to be. I mean, didn't need to be in the movie.
Right.
No.
I mean, who gives a shit what happens to Bug?
You could have had Tia and Buck bond over something beyond the ritualistic abuse of a douchebag.
You could have said, what did you do to him? And they could have just like shared a laughing moment of,
You could have
have all the maniacal laughter you want.
or it could have,
without showing any of that.
you could have even just had him shown Bug with like half his head shaved or something.
Yeah, in his underwear wrapped in duct tape on the front lawn of that party.
Right. Like something. Like
Yeah.
flashback to it real quick. But like this whole thing, like he kidnapped him.
Yeah, which means let's just also again go back to the scene of the party. He had to go through how many people to get up to that bedroom?
Right.
And he had to carry him out of that party, and they all saw him dragging that body out to his car.
But no, maybe Bug was just such a douchebag that nobody cared.
But it gets worse.
It does.
Because he's a minor.
Yeah, well, and it gets even still worse because after dropping him on the ground and getting in the car and starting to drive off, now, not a smart idea by Bug, but Bug does start to basically yell out, I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah, he's talking shit.
Yeah, talking absolute shit. He's a teenage boy talking shit. A 40-something-year-old man should understand that. You're also in a car driving away. You've left him in his underwear or whatever in a parking lot duct taped.
Right.
He's not a threat to anybody. You have more than made your point. You have more than already built your legal case against yourself.
Uh-huh.
But he turns around and comes back. And then, while with his headlights shining on this captive child, pulls out his 5-wood and starts knocking drives into the kid. One of which smacking him in the face.
Yeah.
He has now gone from assault of the clown, kidnapping of a teenager, on to to attempted murder. Am I wrong?
Uncle Buck.
And this is
what the fuck?
A beloved family comedy.
I know we love as a society to see people get their comeuppance.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't the Fire Festival. We're not laughing at a bunch of rich influencers having to eat toast and sleep in tents. This is,
But we are looking at it through a lens that is 36 years newer than the movie.
For sure.
Which is what we do here, Brian.
Yeah, you're right. It is, isn't it?
But I will digress because I think there's a lot more rabbit holes we can get through, but I'd rather just at this point kind of start wrapping things up.
Move along.
Back at the house, Tia confesses to Shanice about all the lying. She also basically starts feeding her very prepped and rehearsed lines about how Buck is a great guy and how he's changed. She is piling it on while Buck eavesdrops on the whole conversation.
He's responsible. And
Shanice, though, is
reliable.
And energetic.
Energetic.
And well-adjusted. And a great sense of humor. And Shanice is smart.
Mm-hmm.
She sees it for what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And she knows that Buck is just listening in on the door. And so she goes up to the little, swinging back and forth. I don't even know what that kind of style door is called.
Butler door.
A butler door.
Mm-hmm.
And she gives it a swift kick, but Buck knows it's coming because Tia has been signaling to him that with coughing, the universal sign that someone's coming. And so Buck gets out of the way. Sees the door swing, he thinks he's in the clear, so immediately goes back to start eavesdropping. Well, Shanice, because she's smart, gives it another kick and sends Buck, a rather rotund gentleman, flying through the air.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
375 pounds of super cheese.
He does love eating cheese. But then Shanice's like, oh, look how cute he is lying on the floor, passed out from a head injury.
So this was another one of the cheesy moments that I like when he landed on the ground, that face towards the camera with his tongue out. I was like, we could do without that. Like,
yeah,
we like
I mean, really, we were just a hair away from having birds flying over his head.
Exactly.
Right. Like
and
it was very
the
cartoonish.
Cuckoo bird sound.
Like how like it would have been just as funny if she would have kicked it and he was like, "Oh, I'm up against the wall. You didn't get me." And I go back and listen, and you kick and it hits me, and it's like you just fall flat. And it's a wide angle shot, and he falls flat into frame. And she's like, "Yeah, I got you. You were listening and you knew all about this whole thing. You didn't have to go zoom in on his face with his tongue hanging out like he was a cartoon. Like, come on, man. Give me a break." A little cheesy moment there.
Yeah, and during all this, she makes a mention to Tia that Buck has never said, the only time he's ever told me that he loves me is when he wanted new tires. And, I feel like for the amount of growth we've gotten, we were supposedly given from Buck, that when he came to, his response would have been a little bit better than what we got.
By the way, I have told you I loved you. And it wasn't for tires, sweetheart. It was for shocks, remember?
Oh, what a zinger. Oh, Buck.
Oh, you be.
Yeah. From here, though, we cut to the closing moments. Mom and Dad come home. Apparently, all grandpas are fully on the mend.
Yep.
They're back from Indianapolis.
Couple stints and some aspirin.
Yeah. Buck, Shanice, Miles, and Maisie are all in the kitchen, being quiet. They're buttoning their lips. They're zipping it. They're locking. They're tossing the key. So that way,
Tia and Mom can have their moment.
I mean, it seemed like they're setting this up like there's been, like, this is such an important, and I know there was animosity between them. But was the movie building towards a reconciliation between these two? It felt like forced.
It did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mom comes in, Tia gives her a hug, and then Mom's like, things are gonna change. Okay.
Yeah.
Dad comes in. It looks like he's not. Why Mom and Dad were so separated from their entrance to the house, I don't know.
Right.
Because it's not like Dad came in with giant piles of luggage or anything, you know. But anyway, Dad comes in and he takes a look. He's like,
neat.
Yeah. Then Buck accidentally pulls down the pot rack that's over the countertop, sends pots and pans flying everywhere, and then shit is what he says about that. And then Buck and Shanice are hitting the road. Buck tells Tia they should meet for coffee downtown sometimes, and she seems into the idea. And as they're Shanice also says, Buck's going to get a new company car on Monday when he comes to work, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And as Buck's getting into the car, he gives his Tia look, who's the last person still lingering on the porch, and they share this glance, and almost cementing an understandingness of their bond.
Yeah.
Yeah. They sure did.
And then freeze frame.
Curtains. Yeah.
The end.
Right.
And that's the movie.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
That's all the movie.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about Uncle Buck? Just top of your mind thoughts at this point.
I mean, it obviously is. It's got some 80s cheese, it's got its plot holes, but it's still John Candy. I'm in it. I'm in it for the ride.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I would sum it up saying I like Uncle Buck, the movie, because I love John Candy.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
If it was not John Candy, well, this movie's kind of shitty.
If it was like Dan Aykroyd, I'd be like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah. I like Uncle Buck because I like John Candy.
I'm with you. I think John Candy is at his prime is very enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I also love that we get a couple other characters who really were just so dang good.
Mm-hmm.
Macaulay Culkin and Gabby Hoffman as Maisie.
They were, I think they were some of the better actors in this film, regardless of the age.
Yeah. Those kids stole the show.
I thought so.
Now, there were some choices made in other parts of this movie that I'm just not going to be able to wrap my head around. Tia's over-enunciation of so many things. And I know a lot of it's just angst and a lot of it's trying to be whatever, act like a grown-up. But it was just a bit much. And then Marcy as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marcy is unexplainable.
But, yeah, I mean, whatever else I'm going to say about it, and I've got some other things to say, I just want to put it in, cement it. This is an enjoyable movie.
It is an enjoyable movie, and it is extremely quotable.
Yeah.
There are some great quotes in this movie from a lot of different characters.
Right. Yeah.
All right. I want to jump into a few points of conversation, though.
Okay.
Sure.
One of the things in particular, and whenever we did the Mr. Mom episode, I asked some questions relating Mr. Mom to Uncle Buck. So now that we're talking about Uncle Buck, I'm going to flip it again. And now we're going to talk about some conversation points related to Mr. Mom. And what I want to talk about in particular is if we look at Jack from Mr. Mom and Buck from Uncle Buck, which character do you think evolved more over the course of their movie?
Oh, all right. So I'm going to say Uncle Buck still, because Jack was a dad for so long. And it's ridiculous that he didn't just be a fucking dad. You know what I mean? So, like, you should have been a dad the entire time. Uncle Buck had a reason not to be good at what he was doing, because he didn't have kids. He was never married. Like he could barely take care of himself. So for him to make that turn was far more impressive than a dad who had been a dad for 8 years and was just like, oh, now I got to do shit. So, yeah.
You see, I think the opposite. I think Jack had the greater evolution. I think in Uncle Buck, everybody else around Uncle Buck had the evolution.
Oh my gosh, you stole my thought exactly.
Really?
Yes.
So where I thought...
Were you reading my notes?
I did not. I can't even see your screen.
Saw the reflection of my glasses. I'm sure of it.
Whereas I think in Mr. Mom, I think Jack had the journey to go on. I think in Uncle Buck, it was the other ones around him who had that journey to go on.
I do think Buck advanced the ball.
Oh, sure.
But
especially emotionally and maturatedly.
Maturationally? That doesn't seem right at all. He matured.
Yes, throughout the movie, he matured.
Buck,
especially, emotionally.
Masturbationally?
I mean, could be.
Is that an offer?
Yeah. You know it is. It's always on the table.
But no, he did mature.
Mm-hmm.
But so there was evolution on Buck's part, but I think the majority of the heavy lifting was done by the people around him who were like, okay, he's doing it differently. We'll just make it work his way. Or he's doing it in a fun way, so we'll just switch and make that work. Because he didn't really bend to anybody.
No, he was who he was.
I want to throw something else out here.
Yeah.
What if Uncle Buck was not the hero, but instead was the villain? Because I think if you took that same character with a lot of the exact, honestly, almost all the exact same actions, but just reframed it, I'm thinking this John Hughes heartfelt movie about a misplaced father figure could be a real horror movie.
Well, not just that, but he could have been selling those decorative plates to support his gambling habit. He could have robbed them blind.
Yeah.
The only thing that makes it a family comedy is John Candy. John Candy's not been that bad guy, and we don't associate him with that.
All right, so let's say this isn't played by John Candy. Let's say it's played by like
Jack Nicholson,
Michael Madsen.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could totally see, there's a guy cutting people's ears off in Reservoir Dog. I mean, I could see, I could see him beating the shit out of a clown.
Yeah.
Let's take the bug and trunk moment. How dark could that get if Uncle Buck was a horror film?
Oh, Tia could have been like drilling holes in the body until it bled out.
It was dark as it was anyway. Like
it was messed up.
Like it shouldn't have been a part of the movie,
right?
But you're talking. There's a lot of possibilities there.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could have just been dead, decapitated, like bloody mess in that back.
Mean, he could have gone in and really cut that whole face off that assistant principal.
Right.
That's the other thing I was going to bring up, the school principal confrontation. I mean, in this one, it's a cathartic moment, but in the horror version, disruptive trespass on school grounds, verbal harassment of faculty. I mean, he is not a good guy.
Right.
He might just rip the wart off her face. He would bring the rat.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it could be.
Yeah. So this storyline could have lended itself to that lean,
if
it wanted to, and it's not that far of a lean, to be honest.
Am I wrong? Am I weird for actually wanting to see that?
Yeah. No, not one bit. I love a good horror movie.
You're still weird, but not for that.
He wasn't your wacky uncle. He was the guy your parents warned you about. Uncle Buck.
Oh, shit.
Rated R.
Uncle Buck Knife.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine the hatchet scene?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just laying waste to the entire campfire.
Yeah. I mean, instead of saying a little off the shoulder, he would actually grab somebody and do it.
Right. Yeah.
Let me show you an example of my terror.
All right. Well, we have covered a lot of ground related to Uncle Buck, and I think it's time we start wrapping things up. And to kick that process off, it's time for the Boddicker.
Clarence Boddicker, you are under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Fuck you.
Guns, 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 it's time to choose. Who stole the seat and lit the fuse? Bad, bold, or just deranged? The Boddicker Award brings the pain. Can you fly, Barbie? Not quite, but our winner, pure dynamite.
So the Boddicker Award goes to the character that we think is the most badass in this movie. Not necessarily the best actor, not necessarily the most famous person, but the character we think overall was the best. So Brian, why don't you kick things off? Who is your nominee for this episode's Boddicker Award?
I gotta be perfectly honest. Going into this movie, I thought it was a shoo-in. It was John Candy. But after watching this movie, I changed my opinion.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. And my nominee for the Boddicker Award is Macaulay Culkin.
Miles.
I thought his deadpan delivery, his lines, especially at his age, I thought that character blew me away. I loved him. I loved all the scenes he was in. I loved the background movements, the physical acting, the dialogue, the delivery. He blew me away.
All right, so we got one vote for Miles Russell.
Yep.
Justin, who gets your vote?
So I see where you're at there. But my Boddicker Award goes to Uncle Buck himself. To me, Buck is the lovable wrecking ball that every family secretly needs. John Candy's natural warmth and razor-sharp comedic timing makes Buck the perfect mix of chaotic and endearing. Honestly, they don't make him like Buck anymore. They just don't. John Candy, holy cow. How do you get any better than that?
I'm with you, Brian. I went into this episode thinking there's no way this could go to anyone other than John Candy. And again, let me rephrase. There's no way this could go to anyone other than Buck Russell because we recognize the character, not the actor.
Mm-hmm.
And you really did bring up some really good points related to Miles. And I, for a moment, was thinking, maybe you were right. But for right or for wrong, despite the fact that, quite frankly, I think the guy is on his path to jail time, I have got to give it to Buck Russell. Dude stepped up, out of his comfort zone, owned it. I think the character was lovable. He was flawed. He was dynamic, a little bit violent, perhaps, but, he gave the audience what they wanted. And I can't really fault him that much for that. So for me, I'm going to go with Buck, which means 2-1. The winner of the Boddicker Award for this episode is Buck Russell.
Bitches leave.
And, even though I was outvoted, I still think that's a strong choice.
Yeah.
His charisma, his heart, his improvisational brilliance. He did a real good job balancing comedy with vulnerability. Yeah, Uncle Buck, solid choice. Not my choice, but solid choice.
All right. Now, unless there's any objections, what do you say we move on to our final thoughts?
Let's do it.
All right, Justin, you want to kick it off?
All right, so this one's pretty near and dear to me because growing up, I had an uncle named Jerry who reminded me a lot of Uncle Buck. He was a big guy, heavy smoker, never married, never had kids, but he was always fun to be around. Like John Candy, though, he passed away far too young. He's the kind of uncle I wish my wife and kids could have met, and that connection adds a huge nostalgia factor to my love of this movie. Uncle Buck is funny and sweet and surprisingly relatable to me. The story's well written. The cast nails it across the board. Even the child actors killed it. And this is number 2 in a row here on the child actor part.
Oh, agree.
Just unbelievable. All in all, I think this movie still holds up for me. Like most of the movies we've covered, I probably won't seek it out again. But if it was on TV and I had nothing else going on, I'd stop and watch. But next time with a beer in hand. Now, granted, I watched this movie in the morning today, and I'm not drinking beers at 10 o'clock in the morning. But I'm giving Uncle Buck a 4 beer rating. A solid buzz would only enhance John Candy's wit and charm while also smoothing over those slower moments.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
4 beers. Mark it down.
All right. And Brian, what do you think?
Well, it was a fun watch. I don't regret watching it, but I do have to say it was not as good as I remembered it being. But it was a fun watch. Uncle Buck, it's not just a comedy about a lovable screw-up. It's kind of a warm reminder that family's not perfect, but love and connection can show up in the most unexpected people in the most unexpected moments. And Uncle Buck teaches us that sometimes it takes a little chaos and a lot of heart to heal old wounds and build trust. At its core, the movie celebrates the messy, hilarious, and tender sides of family life. The kind of bonds that hold us together, even when we stumble. It's a timeless story that still resonates because it's about finding your place and being seen, flaws and all. So, yeah, Uncle Buck will remain a classic because it shows us that love and all of its imperfect glory is enough. But I want to take a second to give a shout out to all the Buck Russells of the world. Like your uncle.
Yeah.
Justin. They're imperfect, they're unpredictable, but somehow they're exactly what their family needs. Because at the end of the day, family's less about having it all together and more about showing up. Sometimes in the bathrobe, sometimes with a stack of giant pancakes, always ready to bring the laughs and the love.
Good old Uncle Bucks.
And so for my beer rating, I'm a lot aligned with you, Justin. I'm going to go with a 4 beer rating.
All
right. Well, I got to say, overall, Uncle Buck is probably about as fun as I remembered. John Candy is endlessly watchable. The comedy of this movie really still lands, and the movie has genuine heart under all of its chaos, and there's quite a bit of it. And in terms of pure enjoyment, it dang near kept pace with my nostalgia. That said, rewatching Uncle Buck as a grown-ass man, I couldn't help but notice that some of Buck's most satisfying moments, punching out a clown, threatening Bug with a power drill, putting a teenager in his car trunk, are technically speaking felonies. Yeah, he meant well. Yes, it was hilarious. But adult me is sitting there watching this movie thinking, well, that's at least 3 to 5 years, and that's only if the DA is having a really bad day. So this is where I'm very much torn. On one hand, gosh darn it, I love this movie. But at the same time, I just can't bring myself to say it holds up. Beyond all that, there were some directorial, writing, acting, I don't know what choices, particularly related to Marcy's character, that didn't catch my eye so much the first time, but caught my eye more the second time. And as we've been sitting here talking about it, are so glaringly obvious, it's really distracting for me. That said, I could probably watch this movie again, and I would enjoy this movie again. But I'm going to need 4 beers to not worry about all the things that have bothered me and just enjoy the movie for what it is.
Wow.
Well, that was 4s all around.
4s all
Triple
around.
4s.
And we did not coordinate this.
Looking like a fool with the 4s all around.
Absolutely we are.
So that gives us an average score of 4. Easy math.
Oh, that's good.
I like easy math.
Yeah, and looking in the overall rankings of the movies we've talked about up to this point, that puts it just behind Fire in the Sky with a 3.66 and ahead of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which had a 4.33.
Okay.
All right, I think that's a fitting spot for it.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
All right, so now that we've covered all that ground and given all our scores, is there any final thoughts that you want to throw out about Uncle Buck before we wrap this bad boy up?
Again, incredibly quotable movie.
No doubt.
Yep. There's some great one-liners in here.
I love you, Uncle Jerry.
All right.
To Uncle Jerry.
Well, on that note, we are going to call it a wrap on this episode of the Regular Guy Movie Show. We've broken down the family fun, but now it's your turn. What did you think about Uncle Buck? Let us know in the comments and add your 2 cents to the conversation. And if you enjoyed the episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. It'll help you more than you can possibly know. If you got a movie you want us to cover, head on over to regularguymovieshow.com and hit the Suggest a Movie link. Thanks for listening, and as always, be kind, rewind.
The Regular Guy Movie Show, talking flicks. Here we go!
The bowling alley people, the people in the bowling alley, and I hate to say this, but they're all scumbags. And like stereotypically scumbags.
Well, I think they're all like blue collar trying to blow off some steam.
But
there's a few.
Like they're predators.
Like Pal.
It seems like there must be bowling league night.
Uh-huh.
Because you see a lot of bowling teams.
But man, like she's 15.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to take you to my Bronco. You know what I mean? Like everyone in every movie in a bowling alley is depicted stereotypically as a scumbag.
And how many bowling alleys have you actually been to yourself?
Probably like 3 or 4.
And how many of those would you say compared to movie bowling alleys?
Everybody's a scumbag. I'm sorry for anybody out there who's a fan of bowling alleys, but you might be a scumbag.
So if you